Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
This is Chief Home Buying Strategist Brian Wickert. A lot of home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting their pre-approval and financing their new home. That's exactly what Jordan and Michelle did, and it wasn't until after they wrote their 5th losing offer that they took their agent's advice and called Accunet for a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and offer strategy consultation. Every time you write an offer and lose, it's an emotional punch to the gut because you've already imagined having Thanksgiving dinner at that house. We're helping home shoppers and their agents write stronger, more convincing offers every day with powerful tools and strategies that really work. If you don't mind writing 5 losing offers, go ahead and get a flimsy generic pre-approval from your bank or credit union. But if you want the best shot at writing an offer that gets accepted, get a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, and I'll personally join in on your offer strategy consultation like I did for Jordan and Michelle, whose very next offer was a winner. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. When you have over 20 HVAC techs working with you that each have over 20 years of experience, it gives you confidence to be able to go out there and talk reliability, integrity, value, all the things that matter when you hire someone to get the job done right the first time. These words mean everything to us, and we know they mean a lot to you. And that's what you'll get when you hire the man in the red van.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Now's when the summer heat is working your AC system into overtime. And after this long, it may be on borrowed time. But some of these systems really can last, especially Armstrong Air Pro Series systems. When your AC system says its final goodbye, think of the man in the red van and the over 60 years of experience that Quality Heating brings to your home. To get your new Armstrong Air Pro Series AC system installed right and right away.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Did you hear that? It can only mean one thing. The Wisconsin State Fair is back. As you're enjoying the fair, be sure to stop by the Bank 59 studio on the heart of the State Fairgrounds to see all of your favorite hosts broadcasting live. It's WTMJ Live at the Wisconsin State Fair, all fair long. See you there.
Let's face it, selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showing your home to strangers, the months it takes to get to closing. And then what do you do with the 20 years of belongings you've accumulated? There's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation, fair cash offer and close on the day you choose. We buy your home completely as is, no repairs whatsoever. Take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Classic is taking place here at the club at Lac La Belle. Absolutely stunning course. Actually voted the best new golf course in Wisconsin just a couple of years ago. It is absolutely beautiful. If I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because Greg Matzek, who's here with me, and I were just golfing on the course. As a matter of fact, Jim Griffin, the guy I was golfing with, dropped me off here. I ran inside here. Matzek, I saw you behind me. You're a good golfer.
We asked to play through, and it's a scramble, so that's really breaking etiquette. And you guys wouldn't let us do it, so to your credit. But I saw a lot of chest bumping and high fives going on in your group, along with the puffs of cigar smoke. So I know you guys were having a good time.
Yeah, we had a really good time. I'm not much of a golfer, but I'm pretty good at fun.
Yeah, there you go.
It all kind of balances itself out. We're going to have a couple of guests from here at the WTMJ Classic that are going to join us in the studio as we head through the afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a charitable component. Best Buddies is a great organization who provides friendship, activity, activities, things to do for all sorts of people, those with intellectual disabilities and those that don't have any disability. The guy with Best Buddies will join us in the studio coming up at 4:45. Also, then during the 5 o'clock hour, I think you'll be fascinated by the history here at the club at Lac La Belle. A very rich history. The course was redone 6 or 7 years ago, I believe it was. It's beautiful, big fescue, undulating greens, but the history is absolutely fascinating here. Guys who won the U.S. Open were amongst the first pros here more than 100 years ago. It's a rich history. It's a beautiful course, and Clint Higgins is the Club at Lac La Belle Director of Golf. He will join us in the studio coming up during the 5 o'clock hour, and we'll tell a couple of stories from out on the links as we head through the afternoon. That is the first thing in the 3 at 3. What's the second thing?
Well, John, EAA begins today. We've been talking about it all summer long, really, with our friend Dick Napinski. And it is up and running in Oshkosh. The busiest airport in the United States is in Oshkosh, of all places.
It is, and it's such a great event. It goes on. It started today. It runs for a big stretch through next weekend. We'll actually broadcast live from up there on Friday. I like how Dick put it. So when asked the difference between EAA and the incredible air show that just took place in Milwaukee over the weekend, he was asked what's the main difference, and he loves the Milwaukee Air Show also. Said how fantastic it is, and it is a great event. But at EAA, you watch these pilots fly around and do their things, whether they're military aces or aerobatic pilots, and then you get to meet the pilots. They park the planes on the tarmac in Oshkosh, and you can tour the planes, you can walk through them, you can have conversations with the pilots. That's part of what makes EAA so special. You ought to take your girls up there. It's a fantastic event.
It is amazing. We have family in from California and Minnesota because my Uncle Bob, who passed away a year ago just before EAA, made it an every-year stop for him. So the family is remembering Uncle Bob by taking a trip to EAA, and it's the first time for some of the kids in the family, which is really cool. And they've got stuff in the evening, too, after the sun goes down and the heat sort of dissipates. They've got stuff all day and all night. So it's truly a hallmark event of summer in the state of Wisconsin.
It is absolutely fantastic. You guys bought a brick or a paver.
We did,
right?
Yeah, remembering Uncle Bob. So it's kind of his, we submitted a picture, and they etched his face kind of in the brick, and his name is on it. So, yeah, it's I'm sure an emotional day for two of his three boys who are there today.
That is so cool. All right, what's the third thing in the 3 at 3?
Kind of a bizarre thing. Log on to Twitter today if you have an account, and instead of the friendly little bird in the middle of the screen, you see a letter X.
It's so weird. So Elon Musk, the multi-billionaire who controls Twitter, said, that's right, it's being renamed X. That means a little blue birdie is on the scrap of internet history on that pile. No longer Twitter, no longer the little bird. It's kind of weird. The thing for me that's weird is you send tweets, which is the sound that birds make.
Right.
I think we're still going to send tweets, but it's from the platform X. Maybe we'll send X's. Are we still going to send tweets?
Well, I'm wondering if it's still going to be called Twitter before long.
Right. I wonder, too.
When you do this kind of rebrand, I mean, this is not a tweak of the logo. This is something entirely different. Yep. So to me, that screams there's more to come, and likely there will be with Elon Musk. I just don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
He's got SpaceX. He loves the name X. I mean, the letter X. He's always said that the letter X is one of his favorite things in the world, is a quote I read. He said, quote, the letter X is one of my favorite things in the entire world.
I did read this as well. The person who designed the logo was let go in the significant layoffs that they had after Elon Musk.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't read that.
How kind.
That's funny. All right, up next, we continue to broadcast live from the club at Lac La Belle, and we are going to dive into what's going on with former President Donald Trump. He is likely to be indicted for a third time. ABC's Jay O'Brien will be with us after the break. It is 3:14 at WTMJ. The super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. It's one of my favorite places. John Mercure here to tell you about Mondays. Mondays are Family Pizza Day. Enjoyed a huge 18-inch pizza for just $14.99. Easily feeds a family of 4. Pizzas like this at other restaurants, $22, $24. Not at the Mine Shaft. And their pizza is phenomenal. I love the pepperoni. New from the Mine Shaft. It's the amazing Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. That's right. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. An all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for just $9.99. That's value. Your kids and grandkids, they can safely play in that $2 million game room, kind of tucked away from the dining area. So wherever you live, it is worth the drive to the Mine Shaft tomorrow for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Kids under 3, they always eat for free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. If you're going to EAA, it's just the exit before the beautiful Mine Shaft right off the interstate. Check it out while you're at EAA. Reserve your table today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. Today is pizza night. The buffet, $9.99. The pizza is fantastic. Check it out, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Hi there, it's Jim Griffin. Whether you're a new or existing customer residing on the northwest or south side of town, we got you covered with Griffin Sizzlin' Service Specials. For just $129.95, get your oil changed, tires inspected and rotated, battery and air filter checked, multi-point inspection done, AC checked, and even your wiper blades changed. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Grab our Sizzlin' Summer Specials for just $129.95, good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, taking a look at the roads again with your traffic report, and we've still looking at a couple of slowdowns as well as a report of some debris on 4394 southbound at National and 6th Street. That says it's blocking the right lane. We are seeing some delays approaching that report of debris, so it looks like that is causing some backups there. 43 southbound, still slow. Looking at about a 21-minute ride right now. That's a 10-minute delay. At 41 southbound, again, a couple minutes slow. It'll be about a 4-minute delay from Highway Q to the Zoo, an 18-minute ride. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, slight chance for rain, a low of 71, more muggy. That air conditioning is going to feel great. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warmer, more humid, a high of 88. Wednesday, we ramp it up another notch, hot and humid, a high of 91. On Thursday, sunny, hot, humid, a high of 94. On Friday, partly cloudy, a chance for storms, a high of 83. With this heat and humidity every day comes the chance for a pop-up thunderstorm or so. It is 3:17 at WTMJ. We continue to broadcast live from the club at Lac La Belle. We're looking out at the clubhouse. You can see golfers to our left, golfers to our right. Greg Matzik and I were out with those golfers. It is a beautiful day, although it is getting a little bit steamy. More on the golf activities here at the club and the charitable component of today's show as we head deeper into the show. First is a third indictment coming Donald Trump's way. ABC's Jay O'Brien is with us from Washington. Jay, what are the developments?
I thought you were going to say, you know who likes golf? Former President Donald Trump, because that's all he does really, other than campaign for the White House again. And while he's campaigning for the White House again, he's now facing this possibility of a third federal indictment, because he's got that initial indictment that you saw from local prosecutors in New York as it relates to Stormy Daniels and the alleged hush money payments there. Then, of course, there's that indictment from the special counsel, Jack Smith, federal charges tied to those classified documents documents that were found at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago. And now there is this potential for a third indictment. We know Trump got what's called a target letter from the special counsel saying that he had the chance to testify in front of a grand jury that's considering charging him as it relates to January 6th and efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Doesn't look like the former president's going to testify before this grand jury, but it puts everyone on the clock. Now we're watching for that third indictment because a target letter signifies things are really heating up and an indictment is likely.
What do we know about Georgia and what's likely to happen there?
Right, and that's the other case that hangs over the former president's head, right? So there were originally three cases that everyone was focused on. Alvin Bragg in New York, which I mentioned, that's the Stormy Daniels case. Then the classified documents special counsel case, although we also knew the special counsel was looking into January 6th. And then, of course, Georgia. So you're looking at the possibility that if Trump is charged by the special counsel in January 6th, then he's looking at two federal charges, one local charge, and then Georgia in Fulton County is its own separate local investigation in that municipality in Georgia looking into Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, specifically in that state. The timing on that is still unclear. The sense that came out of that investigation was that there would be some news there by the end of the summer. That's what everyone was bracing for, at least at the beginning of the summer. But look, it's the end of July, and we haven't heard much out of Fulton County. We still have August to go. But that's another thing on Trump's plate, all while, as we said at the top of this call, he's running for president again.
Jay, it doesn't seem to be really affecting him, however. If you look at the polling, there's still a pretty wide gap with Trump largely in front.
No, it doesn't affect him much at all when it comes to the polling. So I'll give you a good example. Our 538 aggregate poll of all of the polls conducted in the primary has Trump at 51%. That's a smattering and an aggregation of all the polls that have been conducted that are up to a certain standard. It's got DeSantis at about 20%. So Trump at 50, DeSantis at 20. That's a huge lead. And then when you start to zero in more on those early primary states, one of the things you hear from the DeSantis campaign, for instance, is they're not focused on the national polls. They're focused on the early states because if you can show momentum in Iowa or New Hampshire, then you get the ball rolling, and that's only good for you. But we just saw a Fox Business poll out over the weekend that shows Trump with a commanding lead over DeSantis in Iowa, something like 46% to DeSantis' 16 or percentage in that range. So it's not even affecting Trump in the early states where the voting matters most. And so we haven't seen it hurt his fundraising. We haven't seen it hurt his poll numbers. In fact, there's an argument to be made from some in Republican politics that it's helping the former president run for re-election.
Jay O'Brien is with us, ABC News from Washington. Jay, we know if he's indicted, we know if a trial takes place that he can continue to run for president. If he is convicted and is sitting in a jail cell, does that preclude him from continuing his run for president?
Well, there's nothing in the Constitution that precludes him from doing that, and the question would become, would that come to pass? And then the other thing that is the more immediate question, too, is how do you run for president if you're Donald Trump in an effective way if you've also got trial dates on your calendar, right? Because we know that there is that trial in New York that's going to come somewhat in the GOP primary season. We also know that there was a trial date just put on the former president's calendar in the classified documents case. That's going to be in late May of 2024. Now, that is after the bulk of GOP primary states, but also pretty smack dab in the 2024 campaign season. It's the spring of 2024. And then, of course, with this potential for this third indictment from Jack Smith and even the potential for the fourth indictment out of Fulton County, there's going to be a lot of trial dates on the former president's calendar. And it takes a lot to prepare for one criminal trial, one federal criminal trial, let alone two, and then four possibly overall criminal trials, plus run for president. That is a lot on his plate. And that's one of the reasons why we do see the former president's lawyers try to push some of these trial dates off. So far, they've been unsuccessful to push them beyond the election cycle.
And, Jay, we're all kind of wondering here in Milwaukee, you know, what this first primary debate is going to look like in Milwaukee about a month from now, and if Trump will be a part of that. I think we expect him to be, but it's still not solidified quite yet.
Well, and it's interesting because it depends on who you talk to. So there are onlookers saying, look, they think Trump is not going to have a big TV show that he's not a part of. You even hear that from Chris Christie, who's a big vocal critic of Trump now, but obviously a former ally of Trump's and knows his thinking on things. But the Trump campaign signal is that they don't want to participate. That's the signal they're giving at the moment, because they view him as too far ahead, and getting up on that stage elevates all the other candidates to a closer place to Trump than they are now. So the Trump campaign signal at the moment is that they don't see much in it for Trump. There's a big opportunity, though, if you're not Donald Trump on that stage, to make a name for yourself, either drawing contrast to Trump. We know there are some candidates that really want to tear into Trump on that stage. Chris Christie is one of them. How does Ron DeSantis handle the potential for a Donald Trump on that stage? That is unclear as well. But obviously the question that hangs over that is, does Trump really show up? And what is in it for Trump to show up? Is it the fact that, there are people that are going to be on that stage throwing rocks at him? He might as well be up there with them. We don't know.
What are the other candidates saying? Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, the others, are they weighing in on these developments?
There's this interesting reticence to fully criticize Trump. We saw DeSantis go the furthest I've ever seen him go and criticize Trump as it relates to January 6th, and say in response to a reporter's question that he believes that Trump should have acted sooner to tell the mob to get out of the Capitol. But then, of course, he makes comments on a podcast over the weekend that says he doesn't believe Trump did anything criminal, or excuse me, that he doesn't believe that there was any responsibility Trump directly had for January 6th, and he pours cold water on any notion that he believes that it's a quote-unquote insurrection. We even saw from Mike Pence over the weekend. Mike Pence is the one who says he doesn't believe Trump did anything specifically criminal on January 6th, or he says he's still making his mind up on that front, but he believes that Trump's conduct on January 6th was not up to par. So that's a fine line that you see some candidates walking, saying that he might not have done anything criminal, but he certainly didn't act in the highest auspices of his office. We're seeing a lot of that from candidates. And then you've got Chris Christie's and those in the world who are more directly critical of Trump. But the bulk of the GOP field not willing to fully step to the former president and call his actions criminal.
Indeed, it is a fine line. ABC's Jay O'Brien from Washington. Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up after the bottom of the hour news, this is very interesting. UWGB offering a course on Packers history. I love this. We'll dive into that coming up about 3:37, 3:38 or so. First, it's time for the Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks rise to kick off a big week. They close higher as investors wait for a crucial week of earnings from big tech and others, and a key policy decision from the Federal Reserve. The S&P today up 18 points to close at 45.54. The Dow up 184 to close at 35.411. The Nasdaq up 26 points to close at 1458, and the Russell 2000 up 5 points to shut at 1965. Crude oil up on the day, gold down on the day, silver down on the day, and the 10-year Treasury bond, it eked up a little bit today as well. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Craig Matzik here for Siding Unlimited. Got to play a little golf today with my friends at Siding Unlimited. Had a couple of foursomes here at Lac La Belle. Had a great time talking about their latest innovations and products that they're working with and installing in homes around southeastern Wisconsin and beyond. That's right, Siding Unlimited. It's got you covered here when it comes to roofing, siding, windows, new door. How about a patio project? That's right, composite decking, pavers, whatever you want. They can dream it up for you. Stop in at their showroom and see what I'm talking about. You'll see what these products look like on display. It's how they've erected their showroom. Really is beautiful. Looks like a house. 665 Larry Court is where you'll find it in Brookfield. Eric and Aaron Brown, brothers who run the company. They've taken over from their father, and they are doing great work at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Find them online at sidingunlimited.com.
What's keeping you up at night? That dripping sound in the attic? The check engine light? Maybe work stress? Or is it a general unrest over the state of your finances? Today's headlines don't help. It could be the nagging feeling that your investment partner isn't really a partner at all. They may be operating in someone's best interest, but that someone isn't you. It's time for Annex Wealth Management. It's time for a top-to-bottom analysis of what you've got and where you're going. It's easy and there's no obligation. Seriously, head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. Do that and our investment, planning, tax, and estate teams swing into action. What's next is clear thinking from Annex that produces sound recommendations. And unlike others, we work in your best interest as a fiduciary. That commitment runs so deep, we put it in writing for every client. Does your advisor do that? Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Start at annexwealth.com.
I love the Fox and Hounds. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The historic restaurant was recently voted the best supper club in the area. That's right. Opened first in 1933, it's been serving fabulous dinners for almost 90 years in their beautiful rustic timber structure. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. How about this? Enjoy a world-class steak, seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, anything on the menu. Your second dinner is free. And made from scratch desserts, too. And I love those. Add a Manhattan, an old-fashioned. Choose from over 100 wines to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds is family-owned and one of the most unique, affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. Your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is spectacular. You got to check it out. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It'll lift your spirits. It's the award-winning, the best supper club in the area. It's the Fox and Hounds.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Evans Transportation is stoked for the Milwaukee baseball playoff push. After all, they're the complete player when it comes to logistics. But instead of being a 5-tool player, Evans is the ultimate 3-tool logistics partner. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. And for the record, Evans is happy to leave the stuff to the real players. They'll stick to logistics. Good luck to Milwaukee from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Wisconsin's afternoon news, broadcasting live from the WTMJ Classic at the club at Lac La Belle. And this is your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic, and it looks like the delays on 94 southbound due to the debris that was by National Avenue, that has mostly lessened. We're looking at a little bit of a slowdown 94 westbound through the Stadium interchange. We've also got a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Silver Spring Drive onto 4145 southbound. That's something to watch out for. The slowdowns that we've been keeping an eye on for the afternoon still going. 43 southbound a little bit worse. Brown Deer to downtown currently a 24-minute ride. That is a 13-minute delay. Tonight will be partly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a low of 71. Tomorrow partly cloudy, very warm and humid, a high of 88. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. Republicans are changing course when it comes to early voting.
After years of criticizing voting by mail, the Republican Party is now poised to launch a new Get Out the Vote campaign that would emphasize early voting. The goal is to persuade voters who support GOP candidates to get their ballot cast early and put less pressure on Election Day turnout efforts. The state GOP party chair, Brian Schimming, says you can't go into Election Day 100,000 votes down and expect to make it up. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A week-long series of events in Glendale hoping to broach topics like mental health and gun safety. Take Back Our Community kicking off today. It will include presentations by a number of local organizations and activists, including State Senator Lena Taylor, Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball, and Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky. Half a dozen units at Lydell Apartments at Bayshore remain evacuated after high levels of the cancer-causing chemical TCE were found inside Building 3. Now, the property owner is offering to terminate their leases at no cost, as well as providing a $500 reimbursement for any moving expenses. Cypress Bayshore Residential is also offering the displaced Building 3 residents the ability to relocate to another building within the Lydell complex if there's room available. Cypress says they're continuing to work with the Wisconsin DNR and the North Shore Health Department on a permanent solution to get TCE levels down. And still no word from North Korea on the status of Travis King, the Army private from Racine who early last week ran across the DMZ from South Korea into the North. At today's State Department briefing, spokesperson Matthew Miller saying the U.S. has sent messages but has not heard back.
I'm not aware of any new communications other than those that happened in the very early hours or early days after he went across the border.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com. One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less for full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368. This is Chief Home Buying Strategist Brian Wickert. A lot of home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting their pre-approval and financing their new home. That's exactly what Jordan and Michelle did, and it wasn't until after they wrote their 5th losing offer that they took their agent's advice and called Accunet for a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and offer strategy consultation. Every time you write an offer and lose, it's an emotional punch to the gut because you've already imagined having Thanksgiving dinner at that house. We're helping home shoppers and their agents write stronger, more convincing offers every day with powerful tools and strategies that really work. If you don't mind writing 5 losing offers, go ahead and get a flimsy generic pre-approval from your bank or credit union. But if you want the best shot at writing an offer that gets accepted, get a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, and I'll personally join in on your offer strategy consultation like I did for Jordan and Michelle, whose very next offer was a winner. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
Down the right field line, this is up and it is going to fly out of here.
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's afternoon news every Monday during the Brewers 2023 campaign.
There'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, John, we can make honorary brothers.
Brought to you by Crest Cadillac of Brookfield. Discover them at CadillacWisconsin.com.
It's Samantha with Heiser. Amp up your summer with the 2023 Silverado 1500 for only $369 a month when you lease. Plus, with vehicles in transit, pick the all-new 24 Trax, 23 Trailblazer, or 23 Colorado today. You'll receive the Safe and Sound program on any vehicle you choose. This includes the Vehicle Exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Stop in or visit HeiserChevrolet.com.
36-month, 30,000-mile lease. Stock number C13173, 54,345 MSRP, 6064 DAS. Must qualify for financing. Tax title license. 399 service fee extra and 73123.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
John Mercure and Greg Matzik with you from the club at Lac La Belle, the beautiful historic golf course, the WTMJ Classics going on right now. I just saw Vetrano teeing off on, I think is that 10 right to our left?
It's 10, but
okay.
if my understanding of the course is correct, he hit it into the 7th fairway, so we'll see if he can play it from there.
And he probably can. He's a pretty decent golfer. Here's my question for Vetrano. He's wearing long pants. Does he think this is the 5th major?
Yeah, I don't get it
Why?
either. I saw him earlier. I mean, it's like 88 degrees in the shade here at Lac La Belle. It's kind of hazy, kind of humid. Like, you want to be in shorts today. You want to be cool as possible.
I mean, he's kind of built like Jason Day, except maybe 6 inches shorter.
It's right. Very similar, though.
So he's wearing the Jason Day Majors pants?
Right.
I don't understand. Hey, let's talk about something really exciting. This is awesome. UWGB is working with the Green Bay Packers for a unique certificate program that kind of dives into the history of the green and gold. This is super stuff. Jessica Lambrecht and Brent Hansel from UWGB are with us on the hotline. Hello, guys.
Hello, good to be with you.
Are we registered? Did we sign us up yet? Can we get in this thing?
You can still get in. We still have some room.
So it's a non-credit certificate program available to anyone with registrations open. Tell us about the program.
Sure. So it was really developed out of an idea and a partnership between the Packers and UW Green Bay to deliver personal enrichment type content to our community and honestly to the nation. So of any programs we're going to start with the Packers and GB.
I love it.
It makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. I'm wondering, since you made this public, what sort of interest have you had from not only students, but adults and in Wisconsin, outside of Wisconsin, worldwide? What kind of appeal has the registration seen?
Yeah, we've been live now for maybe just about a week or so. I will say we are almost sold out, and it's interesting. Most of those who are registered are actually out of state, and we're really excited to bring it to an older population because it is offered during the daytime, so we suspect it's a lot of retired community. But people just have a love and a passion for the Packers. It's another way to continue to learn about the organization and all they have to offer, and how you can be a great ambassador of the Packers. But Brent, you want to add to that?
I'll just add, and we're hopeful even maybe we get people internationally. The Packers, there's Packer fans all over the world.
Brent, so you are the curator of the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, which is absolutely fantastic. That's got to be an incredible job. What's it like to collaborate with UWGB on a course about the history of our great franchise?
It's really exciting, especially, as you mentioned, to do it online and be able to reach mass audiences from all over. But it's such an iconic, rich history that we're super excited to work with UWGB and bring this forward.
A rich history. I mean, we all know the story, I think, of the Packers' struggle to survive and that first stock sale. And will you go back through history from 100 years ago all the way up to the Rodgers era and the most recent Super Bowl? Give us the breadth of the course.
Sure. So we'll actually touch a little bit on the origins of American football, going back to like the late 1800s. But then more the focus will be on the beginnings, the origins, the start with the, in Green Bay football in that area, like in the 1890s, then up to 1919 when the Packers got their start. But the focus of the history will stop at Lombardi, really. There's over 100 years of Packers history. There's too much to get through, so we have to focus on specific areas.
So, Jessica, is this one of those courses where you want to buy the book, or do you not want to buy the book? You just listen to the lecture? Remember that from college? I don't think you need the book. You just go to a couple classes and then figure out if you need the book.
No, absolutely. We want people to have the book and to be able to be immersed in the content. As part of the program, they'll also get a live virtual tour of the Hall of Fame. So Brent's going to take folks around that facility. So especially for our distance learners, that's one of the great abilities of education is we can bring it anywhere now. And so Brent's going to be able to showcase that really well to folks who may or may not be able to access the physical space here in person.
And then if they want to go to the physical space, they will also get a ticket that they will be able to use long-term and come see us in person.
Oh, that's really, really cool. You know, we all talk about, and it's not just in Wisconsin, the leadership of Vince Lombardi. And I understand that leadership is part of what will be taught in some of those principles. Is that right?
Exactly, yes. Towards the end, we're going to focus on Vince Lombardi and leadership and diversity. He made such an impact in the NFL overall in the 1960s. With diversity and bringing in black players. It's pretty famous that Lombardi did not see, the only color he saw was green and gold. And so we'll talk about that. And I even want to touch a little bit upon women in professional football and working for the Packers organization.
Well, what I love about this is it's a great blend, right? When I took philosophy in college, I was not taught philosophy. I didn't go to philosophy because I would extol the virtues of philosophy in the marketplace. It was not a marketing tool, but this kind of is, right? Now you get more worldwide appeal to the Green Bay Packers. You get the talk value, people understanding just how rich in history this franchise is. If they didn't know, it's really an interesting collaboration.
Yeah, for sure. And we also think about, we have different type of learners. right from an educational standpoint. We have those who appreciate reading a book and being able to digest it and reflect upon it. We've got learners who are very tactile, who are video focused, who, just all the different modalities. And really what we're trying to do is to marry that with bringing another content area to a virtual audience who might not really want to pick up the entire textbook and read about Lombardy and all the history aspects. Now they can actually talk about it with other folks who are curious, who want to learn more and be able to develop a relationship with their classmates who also have a love and a passion for the Packers.
Brent, are we going to talk about how the Bears still suck?
We are going to touch a little bit on the Packers-Bears rivalry, that's for sure, and how it got its start with the two co-founders, Curly Lambeau and George Halas.
Brent, you're a really nice guy. We all know the Bears do still suck. Jessica, there's still openings. How do people register?
Yeah, for sure. We love that. So you can hit us up on our website, www.uwgb.edu. We only charge $139 for this. It's our intent to bring access to education to all who want to learn, and so that's a philosophy and a mission of UW Green Bay and very much of the Packers organization as well. So it's been a really great partnership and collaboration, and the cool part is after this goes, we will certainly evaluate and assess and hope to continue to bring this for a long time coming.
This is such great stuff. Jessica Lembrecht is with UWGB. Brent Hansel, I just made you an employee earlier in the broadcast of them, but you are with the Packers Football Hall of Fame. Thank you so much, Jessica and Brent, for being with us.
Awesome. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
It is 3:45 at WTMJ. John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. So I just got off the golf course with Jim Griffin, and as he dropped me off here at the mobile studio, I was telling him that I'm so impressed when he deals with his people, and a lot of them are out here. They're a sponsor of the event because it's about leadership, and Jim Griffin is a leader. And you feel that when you go into one of their dealerships, whether it's the Ford place in Waukesha, whether it's the Chevy place off the interstate, the hub on the south side, it's about leadership. And leadership means a lot of things. And if you're looking for a vehicle or you need service on a vehicle, it's the Griffin dealerships all the way because they're going to take care of you. They're ethical, they're honest, they've got the best service and the best selections. They've got vehicles in stock now ready to ship. Jim was telling me that inventory is really, really coming back. They're going to take good care of you. You want a new or pre-owned F-150? They've got it for you. Newly retired service loaners with great deals. Get them before they're gone. Over 100 pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and sedans at Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Stop in Griffin Ford today. They're going to take great care of you. Jim Griffin is the real deal. Stop in. And if you're a first responder or in the military, you get a 15% discount on your next repairs. Some restrictions apply. Good at all 5 Griffin Service Department locations. It's Griffin.
Sometimes saying, I've got a guy, isn't convenient when you need a lot of different people for different needs. A roof guy, paint guy, interior remodel guy, J&J Contractors do it all. With top-of-the-line quality craftsmanship that's all custom or semi-custom.
In addition to full interior remodels, J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team members use high-quality materials for all of your exterior needs. Roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Contact them today to schedule a consultation. Just Google J&J Contractors.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. I'm often asked when the best time is to book all-inclusive winter getaways. Well, my friends, it is now through July 28th. Fox World Travel has partnered with Apple Vacations for the nation's largest exclusive early booking sale. Top resort deals you won't find anywhere else are paired with nonstop flights to Mexico and the Caribbean. If you like saving, you don't want to miss out on this sale. Our expert advisors save you time, the sale saves you money, and all you need is a deposit to secure your winter vacation or spring break. Visit foxworldtravel.com where you can get all the details. Travel advisors make it easy. Plus, with best price guarantee and cancel for any reason insurance, why not check the box and get your vacation on the calendar now before your preferred dates, locations, and nonstop flights are sold out. Visit foxworldtravel.com where you can get all the details or even book online yourself and take advantage of our exclusive Fox Resort savings. Visit foxworldtravel.com and call a travel advisor to learn more.
An evening with Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
The Spirit Trail 25th Anniversary Tour.
Some things will never change.
October 17th at the Pabst Theater. An intimate solo performance from Bruce Hornsby.
Sneaking up on Boo Radley.
Hear selections from Spirit Trail and other favorites. Tickets on sale now at PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Weisgerber's Golden Mast Inn, your place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Enjoy afternoon gondola rides on Okachi Lake. Learn more at goldenmastin.com. This unique experience is available by appointment only through August 13th. goldenmastin.com.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. We are looking at a slowdown on 94 westbound coming out of downtown. The main problem is right through the stadium interchange. It's really slow. As you pass the field there, it's looking like it'll let up as you head out towards the zoo interchange, and it's just around the stadium that's the main problem. 43 southbound continuing to be slow. It's holding at 24 minutes right now to get from Brown Deer Road on into downtown. That is a 13-minute delay. 41 southbound still slow, but getting a little bit better from Highway Q to the zoo. Now only a 3-minute delay. It'll be a 17-minute ride. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A low of 71 degrees. Tomorrow, very warm and humid, a high of 88, slight chance for rain. Wednesday, hotter and more humid. Chance for showers, a high of 91. Thursday, it gets really steamy, a high of 94 degrees and humid. On Friday, we head back the other direction, partly cloudy, chance for rain, a high of 83 degrees. Right now at Lac La Belle, it is 87 degrees. So I'm really intrigued by the Kennedys, the history, the mythology. There is a guy who is an incredible, incredible author who's written about the Kennedys at great length. His name is J. Randy Taraborelli, and I talked to him recently about his new book, Jackie.
I want to start with the title of the book because that's a fascinating little story. Jackie, Public-Private Secret. Tell us about the title of the book.
Well, the title of the book comes from a story that her very good friend, John Warnicki, who designed the JFK Memorial at Arlington, he told me this story. He and Jackie had been romantically involved for 3 years. They remained friends throughout her entire life. And when she turned about 60 years old, she had a conversation with him in which he asked her what he saw. He asked her what she saw in Aristotle Onassis. Because John just didn't think that she and Onassis had much in common. And Jackie said, well, you know, Jack, she called him Jack. She said, you know me, I have 3 lives, public, private, and secret. And that said so much to Warnicki and also, you know, meant a lot because it's true. You know, the public life is the life that we all know about. The private life is the life that, you know, maybe her close friends are aware of. But the secret life is sometimes only known to her and sometimes only known to her family members. And that's what I really wanted to focus on in this book was the secret life.
I thought you knew everything about Jackie, and I thought through you we all did, and then some correspondence from Jack became public. You did additional research. What is the most surprising thing you discovered in your new research?
Well, I think the most surprising thing for me was the way Jackie became the primary caregiver for her mother when her mother suffered from Alzheimer's. You know, this is really the secret life because this was going on during the period of time that I knew Jackie, and I sure didn't know anything about it. And it was going on in the 1980s when she was an editor at Doubleday, and she was very public, working every day at Doubleday in New York City, and then spending her weekends in Newport caring for her mom. And I think that, you know, so many people can relate to the stress of that. And the story of Janet Auchincloss's Alzheimer's and Jackie's dealing with it, I think is so important and something that I really wanted to write about. I didn't know anything about it, and it meant a lot for me to be able to share that with my readers because I think it's something that so many people can relate to and understand on a very deep level.
We're talking to best-selling author J. Randy Taraborelli, who's written an exhaustive biography of one of the most influential women of modern history. What struck me, a lot of things did, J. Randy, in the book, was you writing about the ritual of Jackie burning some of the most intimate letters in her fireplace. Tell us that little story.
Well, shortly before she died, she called John Warnicki, who we just mentioned, her good friend Jack Warnicki, to her home for a sort of ritual. And the two of them, according to what Jack recalled, to me when I interviewed him, the two of them sat in her library and they burned so much correspondence that Jackie had received, from many people in her life, former relationships, dignitaries, governmental people, friends, family members. And it's such a sort of paradox because Jackie cared so much for history. She restored the White House and she restored Lafayette Park and she worked to save Grand Central Station in New York. I mean, she understood the importance of history. But the reason she did it, the reason she burned all of these letters was because she was trying to protect people who knew her. And it was one thing for her letters to then to become private public, and they certainly did become public over the course of time. But she felt it was something else entirely for their letters to her to become public. And they were private people, she felt, and they just didn't deserve that kind of scrutiny. And so in order to protect them, she burned this correspondence, which I, as an historian, would love to have read, of course. But I totally understand, right? I mean, I wish she hadn't done it, but I totally understand it. And I think it says a lot about her, that she cared so much for the people in her life that she was trying to protect them from scrutiny.
We talk a lot about trauma in our life now and how people suffer from PTSD. Did she ever get over having JFK die basically in her lap on that tragic day in Dallas?
Well, I think that we all figured that she probably did because, from the public side of Jackie, she went on to marry Onassis and she looked as if she was living a life of glamour and luxury on this big, yacht, the Christina. You heard all these stories of Jackie O, right? But what I found in my research is that she never really got over it. She told, again, Jack Warnke, that she felt like she regretted the fact that this thing that happened 30 years earlier had poisoned her entire life. And she, true to her survivor instinct, she told him that she felt that if she just had 10 more years, she'd be able to finally reconcile what happened in Dallas. By this time, she had been trying to do that for 30 years. And again, this is something I think is such an important message in this book, that PTSD is something that you don't just get over. You move on, you try to move on, but it still haunts. And I think that people, can sort of relate to that and understand that, but I also think it gives you a side of Jackie that you're not really familiar with, because the image of Jackie was that she just pushed through it, but she was a sensitive woman who was just not able to get past such a horrible, horrible thing happening to her and her husband.
We're talking to best-selling author J. Randy Taraborelli. I wanted to ask you quickly about Caroline Kennedy. When I mentioned I was talking to you, I had two different people say they want to know about Caroline, and I think they feel like it's the last direct link to President Kennedy and Jackie, but I feel like we don't know anything about Caroline. How is she? What is she doing?
Well, she's doing very well. I wrote a lot. I'll tell you what I would do. I would direct you to my previous book, The Kennedy Heirs, because in that book I wrote about that generation of Kennedys. And I spent a lot of time writing about Caroline Kennedy and her marriage to Ed Schlossberg and the way that she's raised her children. She's very much like her mom, and that she's a very private person. And in fact, she's more private than her mom, because her mom used to write incredibly long letters to people. I mean, Jackie was known for her incredibly long letters, right? I mean, I must have 100 of them. Caroline Caroline learned a lesson from the fact that people like me get those letters and end up putting them in books. And so Caroline doesn't write anybody any letters, She's very, very cautious. I mean, she learned that lesson from her mom and from guys like me, to be much, much more discreet, especially in this day and age. This is not the 60s anymore. You can't just sit down and write 10 pages to Lady Bird Johnson and not expect that somebody like me is going to get a hold of them.
The 8 at WTMJ.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, a group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery. The pain was real and options were important. My experience with each doctor was thorough, the appointments were timely, always close and easy access to the building. My mom felt the same way, I know, when she went there for her physical therapy appointments at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I trusted their surgical team for my knee surgery, and I know they'll take care of you the way they did my mom and me. Make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
You're just going to have to live with it. That's what I told myself. And if you can believe it, that's what the doctors told me.
Since Andy was a boy, he had health issues, which later we would find were primarily due to his trouble breathing. So for 36 years, Andy lived with about 85% blockage in his nose. He had to breathe through his mouth, because when he tried to breathe through his nose, it felt like he was being suffocated. It affected his sleep, his work life, and his ability to play sports. And he wasn't going to let it ruin his life anymore. So he came to Advent. As bad as it was, his problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Procedures you won't find offered by big box healthcare. This is Dr. Madan Kandula. It's definitely possible that your nasal breathing problems have a simple solution too. You can hear Andy's story in his own words at adventknowsandy.com and begin on your path to breathing well and living better.
Results may vary.
This is Protection, the everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Off, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand, SC Johnson.
Selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showings, the months it takes. But there's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will buy your home today completely as is. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Social Security benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley, Wisconsin's Afternoon News, broadcasting live from the WTMJ Classic at the Club at Lac La Belle. And that delay on 94 westbound caused by a crash at the ramp from 35th Street. That is blocking the right shoulder now. They've moved it off to the side, but we're definitely seeing still some backups on 94 westbound from downtown to the zoo. That will be about a couple minutes extra, an 8-minute ride. 43 southbound, still slow. It's been holding steady at 24 minutes right now, so that's 13 extra minutes added to your ride. At 43 southbound from Highway Q to the zoo will still be a couple extra minutes. That's about a 17-minute ride right now. That's your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy, slight chance of showers at a low of 71. Tuesday, partly cloudy, very warm, more humid, and a high of 88. Be our eyes on the road. Help your fellow commuters report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329 and visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of discovery. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Racine County District Attorney's Office has cleared all involved officers of any wrongdoing in a fatal police shooting that happened in May. On May 21st, Mount Pleasant police responding to a domestic incident. Timothy Burgess shot a gun multiple times towards his wife. He did not hit her. After a child in the home called 911, Burgess fled the house. Racine police spotting his green Range Rover shortly before midnight. They tried to stop him. He fled on foot into Clayton Park. When officers tried to arrest Burgess, he shot at officers, 8 of whom returned fire. No officers were injured, and now no charges will be filed. Decision Wisconsin, Republicans are changing course when it comes to early voting.
After years of criticizing voting by mail, the Republican Party is now poised to launch a new Get Out the Vote campaign that would emphasize early voting. The goal is to persuade voters who support GOP candidates to get their ballot cast early and put less pressure on Election Day turnout efforts. The state GOP party chair, Brian Schimming, says you can't go into Election Day 100,000 votes down and expect to make it up. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A deadline has come and gone set by the Department of Justice for Texas to remove a floating border fence on the Rio Grande, and it seems state leadership has no plans to remove that barrier.
Texas will see you in court, Mr. President. That's what Governor Greg Abbott wrote to President Biden about the Justice Department's demands that Texas remove the buoys and razor wire it's put along the Rio Grande to work as a sort of floating border fence. The DOJ and Mexico claim the actions by Texas break federal and international laws, plus violate several international treaties. Abbott is doubling down, saying it's necessary, and argues that Texas has a right to protect its borders. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And an investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor has found that the operator of 4 Wisconsin restaurants violated several federal regulations. According to the report, Casa Tequila LLC of Pewaukee and owner Maria Campuzano operated an invalid tip pool at its Pewaukee restaurant, failed to pay the proper overtime rate, and miscalculated overtime wages due to some employees. In addition to Pewaukee, the investigation covered the employer's restaurants in Hartford, Waukesha, and West Bend. They found that Casa Tequila owes the affected employees a total of $272,000 in back wages. WTMJ has reached out to Casa Tequila for comment, but has not yet heard back. Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Really looking at the entire space holistically. The environment, the walls, ceilings, lighting, flooring, furniture, technology, along with acoustics.
To conceptualize how the end users are going to interact with the room, from the furniture all the way down to the AV, having that work seamlessly within the environment and often hiding within the furniture.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
When you see our selection of gently worn brand name girls and women's clothing, you'll love what you find, and you'll love the prices. So low that you won't believe your eyes. At St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll find something cute, maybe a whole new outfit for so much less. Gently worn brand name clothing at far below retail. You're gonna love it. On Highway 100 at Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
The boys from the Queen City are coming to town. But this town, with this division lead, this is the land of kings.
How'd you become king then?
Get up! Get out of here! Go! A drive to deep right field. How far will it fly? The track at the wall. Gone!
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35. Presented by American Family Insurance. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If Hasselus Mattress is employee-free, then who are you?
I'm the manager.
But your stores don't have employees.
Right. Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
So what else do you do?
Through Monday, I'm giving away free box springs with the purchase of a new Beautyrest, Serta Perfect Sleeper, or Sealy Posturepedic mattress.
You can do that?
Sure.
Won't the boss get mad?
What boss?
Oh, right.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Discover
Discover Cadillac. Discover Crest Cadillac of Brookfield now with easy buy and lease options. Take advantage of 2.9% financing on new 2023 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Come in today to test drive the all-new, all-electric Cadillac Lyriq. Discover the ultimate luxury experience with Cadillac's first all-electric, all-wheel drive vehicle with an over 300-mile range on a full charge. Order yours today at Crest Cadillac of Brookfield or CrestCadillac.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
At Lock, LaBelle, it's WTMJ Classic. It's fantastic. Wyatt's News this afternoon, sponsored by Smart Spaces. Visit smartspaceswi.com. All right, we all like to act like we wash our hands every time we're supposed to, and you wash them the right way, and you wash them long enough to say the alphabet or to sing this song or the other song. Okay, and since COVID, a survey I have in my hand seems to indicate that most people are doing that. 93% of adults believe hand washing is essential to maintaining their health. 93% say washing their hands is essential to maintaining their health. Then you dive deeper into the survey. It also discloses that 45% of people, 4-5, say that they skip soap altogether frequently and simply rinse their hands. My biggest question is why? Every single place that there's a sink, there's also soap. Why would you not use the soap? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I have some weird quirks, and one of the things is that I don't like my hands to be wet. It's a weird thing, but I religiously wash my hands. So if I'm going to get my hands wet, why would I not use soap? That's almost half of America said they skip soap regularly when they wash their hands.
What does that do to the cleaning process, right? Because not all soap is antibacterial, right? Some soap is just smelling nice, and it's kind of foamy. Might make your hands smell nice, but really how much cleaner does it get?
True. So that's a good question. So skipping the soap maybe isn't always as bad as you think, because if you're using Bed Bath & Beyond and it's just smell great, but it's still safer than not using soap, isn't it? There's got to be something in there.
I would think if you don't use soap, the temperature of the water you're using to help clean your hands the way it should be would be scalding, to the point where you cannot put your hands underneath that water.
Agree. It absolutely has to be. While we're talking about bathroom stuff, can we get rid of those hand dryer things?
Okay, so you're a paper towel guy.
Got to be.
You don't like the hand, you don't like the blade, the air blade or whatever Dyson has. You don't like the pop the button, put your hand under.
And here's the primary reason, because it gets back to cleanliness. I know a lot of dudes don't bother to wash their hands at all. So now if I got to use the door handle, and in some bathrooms you have to touch the handle. There's not the foot thing. And now, because I've had to use the hair dryer thing on my hands, I don't have a paper towel. I'm touching the handle. The handle is slimy and wet because some people don't bother to be patient enough to use the hand dryer thing. I keep saying hair dryer, the hand dryer thing. Can we just have paper towels?
Paper towel seems to be the easiest way to go. There is a cost to replenishing the paper towel, I assume, for some businesses. Sure. Remember in high school when you just had like the big sheet? I mean, it almost looked like a diaper, a giant diaper hanging on the wall.
That was bad.
Right? It was sort of a mechanism that went into the walls, bolted in, and then it had a long loop of fabric that you just pulled down, dry your hand, pull down, dry your hand. And you know that thing didn't get cleaned once a month or once a week. That was awful. Hey, you talk about filthy.
That was terrible. So in the same survey, it found that 20% of folks that use the hand dryer thing, 20% say that almost every time then they use their clothing to actually dry their hands.
I've done the inside of my pockets before.
Me too. I've done my shirt.
It's probably
or
not
you know where
clean.
else I use is like the back of my shorts or pants or the side. You just kind of dry your hands off a little bit. But then you still got to touch the door handle. My problem is then you're still touching the door handle. So there are unique things that people do because they don't want to touch the door handle at all. It found, this survey did, that the top things that people do when they don't want to touch the door handle is use the foot thing if the foot thing's there. They wait, 27% say that they wait until someone else comes into the bathroom because then the door swings open.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have patience for that. Yeah. So you're standing there like dum-da-dum-dum-dum. You're looking at your phone. You're just waiting for the next person to come in. 17% say that they regularly use their rear end. to hold the door open. So
I've done that, yeah.
Rear ends are coming into play big time.
It's sort of a back-end hinge at the hips and pop it.
You got it. So
you
you're one of
go.
those guys.
Yeah.
43%, have you ever done this? 43% say they use their foot to flush the toilet.
That I do not do.
If it's a conventional toilet where you have to touch the thing. I don't either because I'm going to wash my hands, right? So, yeah, that thing might be dirty, but I'm washing my hands, so I don't do that. To me, that seems weird.
There are a lot of quirks, though. You're right. When it comes to public bathrooms that are not at your own house. Yeah. Like we've got company staying with us today and for the last couple of days. So typically we have a towel that hangs in our powder room where majority of the people on the first level of our home are going to use the bathroom. Anytime we have company, there is no towel. There's not going to be any towel.
Do you put a stack of little towels?
It's going to be like the Kleenex version of a paper towel, right?
Yeah.
It's in a little like tissue box kind of thing, and they're wide and they're kind of durable and they're kind of thick and they're disposable.
Yep.
So like we've got a box of those in every bathroom in the house that we think our guests, family or not, is going to use. So we eliminate towels altogether.
So you raise an interesting point. I have that too, and we use that too. But I never use that. It's part of being frugal. We have towels hanging also that when it's just family, we use the towel, right? I don't use the disposable things. But then like when the girls are home, they use the disposable things. And I say, those aren't free. Use the towel that's hanging up in there.
So you have them, but you don't use them.
Only when company's coming.
Okay.
Only when overnight guests, or if we're having a party, then we do. We use them. We're like you. They don't use the towels. But if it's just us in the house, I use the towel. If it's just you guys in the house, do you use the towel in the powder room?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm not using those.
And we
are free.
wash it once a week.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, us too. So 45%, though, say they don't use any soap. That is a big
a little bit
number.
You're halfway there. Just complete the process, right?
What are you doing?
You just make it enjoyable. Make your hands smell good.
One of the most hygienic guests we have on the show every single week is Lane Grindle.
That's true.
I mean, he is like Mr. Hygiene. We'll talk to Lane Grindle about that and a little Brewers baseball when he joins us up next right here on WTMJ. That's after the break. First, Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I just talked to Matt, the owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. He's out here at the WTMJ Classic, and I had to tell him, thank you for making my dogs better dogs. And indeed they are. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They are awesome. They're patient. They have the best tools and the best techniques. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Bella and Baxter have always been great dogs, and now they're better behaved, and I love it. You, too, can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training today to schedule that free consultation. That's how we started, a free consultation. They met the dogs met them, ba-boom, and now they're better behaved. It's sitmeansitwaukesha.com. Check out the website, sitmeansitwaukesha.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. But right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair.
That's so
Reputation
bad.
Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results.
Yeah.
They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm.
So sometimes what I do at
Take
work is
control
that
with
bathroom
Reputation
downstairs.
Defender. You can start by getting your free Reputation Report card at ReputationDefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert.
Yeah, which
That's
happens.
800-401-6681.
Grandview Buys Homes. Hi, I'm Tom Delich. Do you want to sell your home but dread the time and the cost to do the repairs? Hate the idea of showing your home to strangers day and night? Is the stress of the months it takes to sell your home just too much to take? And if that isn't enough stress, what are you going to do with the 20 years of belongings you've accumulated? Selling your home doesn't have to be so darn difficult, so painfully stressful, or take so long. There's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation, guaranteed, fair cash offer in as little as 48 hours. We buy your home completely as is. No repairs whatsoever. And we close on the day you choose. Take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. Grandview Homes is A+ accredited with the Better Business Bureau. See what our customers are saying about us on the BBB website. Sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics is helping people every day here in Milwaukee and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. It's incredible and a non-invasive approach that will help you take back control of your body, relieving the pain in knees, hips, shoulder, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Hey, summertime should be about having fun, making memories. Take control now and start living pain-free again. Call now for a free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
I'm Wyatt Farmar-Pooley. We're starting to see some slowdowns in Waukesha County, both ways on 94 around Barker Road. It looks like there's some slowdowns, and there's also a disabled vehicle reported on 94 westbound, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. It says it's off on the right shoulder, but we are seeing some backups from about there all the way back to Moreland Road. 94 westbound also slow through the stadium interchange closer to downtown. There's a crash on 94 westbound. That's off on the right shoulder around 35th Street. Once you get past that, though, there are still going to be some brake lights as you head through the stadium interchange. And 43 southbound is going to remain slow pretty much all afternoon. I'll be updating you on it every time. It's going to be about the same thing every time. 23-minute ride right now. That's about a 12-minute delay to get from Brown Deer Road on into downtown. I'm Wyatt Farmar-Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Be a low of 71 degrees. Tomorrow starts to warm up and humid, a high of 88. On Wednesday, hot and humid, a high of 91. On Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 94. On Friday, a little cool front moves through. Chance for rain on Friday with a high of 83 degrees. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 80 degrees. We are broadcasting live from the club at Lac La Belle, the beautiful golf course. It's a WTMJ Classic. Matzik, out on the course today, it felt warmer than 80, low 80s.
Yeah, no, it was steamy. It was definitely steamy. But in a good way. Like, it was fun to walk around. It was getting a nice little breeze kind of coming through. I was able to play with the folks from Side Again Limited who are approaching a hole that is very close to us. Now, the first hole we teed off on, they had cocktails. Like, which pour and ready-to-drink cocktail would you like? We've got a whiskey sour. We've got a tequila margarita. Like, 3 different things on the very first hole. That's how we started today.
That's great. So my group is on the tee box. I can see them right now. Jim Griffin and his other 2 guys, one of them's his son, are on the tee box. Hey, Griffin!
Yeah, go hit a shot over there.
Hit it straight!
I think that...
Hit it straight!
I think it's their last hole. This would be hole number 10 that they're teeing off on.
Oh, you're right. They're almost done.
There you go. You want to go hit a drive? I can bring Lane on.
No.
Go ahead.
Well,
Run
you know
out
what?
there.
They're glad that I'm not out there because they decided once they went down to 3 that instead of my duffing, they would have one of their guys hit twice.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, that is the benefit of somebody leaving the group.
Exactly.
Yes.
Especially when he's the weak link. Let's bring in Lane Grindle. He is with us this afternoon. Lane, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. It sounds like you guys have had a eventful morning/afternoon.
Are you a golfer?
Bad one, but I guess you could say I am one.
You should be out here with us then, because that's everybody.
Yeah, I played a lot when I was younger, and then when I got into college and got into the business, as they say, I didn't find the time for it, and with 4 kids, that makes it challenging too. So I get out there maybe twice a year, and I might be even exaggerating that, and I don't do well when I'm out there, but I enjoy it.
Lane is a kid at heart. Let me tell you the scene from the Matzik household over the weekend as I'm mowing my lawn. There's a bunch of kids running around Lane's yard, and he's kind of playing with the kids before he goes to the stadium. And there was a football kind of in the corner of Lane's yard, and he picked it up, and I thought he was going to throw a pass to his son. No, he did like a full rollout, like on the move, and delivered a pass right into the Landon stone of his retaining wall. He wasn't thrown at anybody, right? Just wanted to deliver a pass on the run. And it was right on the money, Lane. You still got it.
I specifically remember that throw. There was a little toy like bucket sitting on the stone, on the stone, and I was going to see if I could hit it, and I just missed it, and I skipped Luke's football across the stone, and I scuffed it pretty good, actually.
That's awesome.
He doesn't know I
speaking
did that, though. He was
getting ready to go to the stadium, Lane. Sorry about that. I was at the game on Saturday, the only game that they won, which was one of the best baseball games I've seen in a long time. It was entertaining. It was great. Sale, the new rookie, had a fantastic day. And what a tough series. 2 good baseball teams, 3 close games. What a series. Braves win 2 out of 3, but that was some good baseball.
Braves are one of the better teams I've seen in the last handful of years. I think that lineup is as good as I've seen. You can't take a deep breath at any point or exhale at any point because anybody in that lineup can beat you. And they're really good. But the Brewers are playing great baseball right now, too. And that just made for, I thought, great drama, great storylines, really entertaining baseball. And I'm with you, John. I just enjoyed the heck out of that series this weekend. I wish the Brewers could have finished it off yesterday, but that's what happens when 2 good teams are going toe-to-toe like what happened over the weekend. And now you just hope the Brewers can keep this momentum going and take care of the Reds here. They've had such good success against them, not just this year, but really going back over the last handful of years head-to-head. And you hope that theme continues because the Reds have a long road trip here coming. It starts here tonight, but then they go to the Dodgers, and they come back to Wrigley. And so the Brewers have a tough schedule, too, and you're just trying to stay ahead of the Reds in this division right now.
It really is kind of a hint as to what playoff baseball is going to be like, Lane. Going back to that series against the Reds right after the break, I would argue even in Philadelphia, I mean, that was a charged series with a playoff contending Phillies team. And then, of course, the Braves, a team that you may end up facing in the postseason. And it doesn't stop, right? I mean, it's kind of on repeat now with the Reds and Braves again. So your taste of playoff baseball, I mean, it's practically the month of July.
It's been a great atmosphere. I mean, the atmosphere in Cincinnati coming out of the break was the best I've ever seen it there, and there's not a close second. They're really excited about baseball in that city right now. 1, their team's playing well, but 2, they've got a guy that is bringing people out to the stadium in Ellie De La Cruz, and they've got a bunch of other young players too. And the Reds are going to be around for a while. I don't think this organization's going anywhere in the NL Central for the next handful of years. So those atmospheres were great, and then Philadelphia is always a good atmosphere. I mean, you got the Fanatic running around. You got superstars in that lineup. Just a well-pitched series for the Brewers again, which has been a consistent theme. And of course, we just talked about what a series it was against Atlanta over the weekend. You just hope it keeps going. You knew this stretch was going to be a tough one, and the Brewers have done more than you would have expected them to do, more than you felt like they needed to do up to this point in this stretch. They've got 6 games left in this stretch of the schedule with the Reds here and then going to Atlanta. And then you hope maybe a little bit of a break against Washington, but it's still Major League Baseball, and the minute you start thinking that way, that's when you get beaten a series by somebody like the Nationals. We saw it earlier this year when the A's swept the Brewers. So that can still happen. You just have to show up at the ballpark every day, take care of your business, and play your baseball. And the Brewers are doing that as well as anybody right now. I really feel like that.
He's one of the best in the business. He is Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle. Always fun. Next year, you're with us out here, Lane.
I'm counting on it. I need the invite, but I'll be there.
Oh, we're going to get you the invite. Thanks. Have a good rest of the week, Lane.
Bring your football.
Yeah, all right, thanks. Yes, I will. Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update on this Monday. Stocks rise to kick off what's going to likely be a big and busy week. Crucial week for earnings from big tech and others. A key policy decision from the Federal Reserve. Here's what we did today. The S&P 500 was up 18 points. The Dow was up 184. The NASDAQ was up 26. The Russell 2000 was up 5 points on the day as well. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Hey, who's getting hungry? I am, absolutely. Why wouldn't I be after a long day of golf? That's why we've got Palermo's in the freezer, ready to go in the oven at a moment's notice. Just need the oven to preheat, and there you go. In minutes, you're enjoying a Screamin' Sicilian, a Connie's, or an urban pie, maybe a neighborhood pizzeria pizza. Well, those all sound pretty darn good right now. Favorite of mine is the Screamin' Sicilian, and I've told you why. It's overflowing with toppings. The crust is perfect. Whole milk mozzarella. There's a difference, an absolute difference. And really, with all Palermo's brands, wherever you like to shop, you'll find them. Woodman's, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, Festival Foods, and more. Even Pick and Save. Wherever you shop, find Palermo's in the freezer aisle. Palermo's is Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking #1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geistdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geistdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
I'd been living with a snoring problem nearly my entire life. In fact, I can remember my mother teasing me, saying that I'd snore so loudly that the walls of our house would cave in with each breath.
Fast forward only recently, when Jessica's snoring forced her husband out of their bed and into another room. It's a pretty common situation. We call it a sleep divorce, and that's not good. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent. After Jessica had a thorough breathing triangle evaluation, we found that her snoring problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty. It's a 20-minute procedure, and it works. You won't find it offered by big box healthcare, but you will find it at Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available. You can hear more of Jessica's story at adventknowsjessica.com and take your first step towards breathing well so you can live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
With inflation affecting so many families, the super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. One of my favorite places, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Mondays are family pizza day. Enjoy a huge 18-inch pizza for just $14.99. Easily feeds a family of 4. Pizzas like this at other restaurants, I don't know, $22 maybe or more. It's new from the Mine Shaft, and it is amazing. Every Tuesday, the Mine Shaft presents their all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. It's the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. An all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for just under $9.99. Shut the front door. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in the huge game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area. So wherever you live, it's worth the drive to the Mine Shaft today for the all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. Kids always eat free if they're under 3. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh just off the interstate. Reserve your table today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet, just $9.99. It's mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
If you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329. We discover the road at Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of discovery. Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Wisconsin's afternoon news broadcasting live from the WTMJ Classic at the club at Lac La Belle. And taking a look at your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've got delays on 94 westbound in two major places. First through the Stadium interchange, looking like a backup of about 3 or 4 minutes there. It'll take you back towards all the way through the Menominee Valley, those brake lights are looking like. And in Waukesha County from the zoo to Highway 16, another couple minutes delay there. That is centered around Moreland Road. And then we're looking at 43 northbound is starting to get a little bit slow as well. Downtown to Brown Deer Road, a couple extra minutes. 43 southbound has continued to be slow. It's up to a 25-minute ride right now. It's about a 14-minute delay. And 41 southbound, I should say. Highway Q2, the zoo, now up to 21 minutes. That is a 7-minute delay. Traffic is sponsored by Milwaukee's German Fest this weekend. Make it your tradition. Tonight, partly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a low of 71. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, very warm and humid, a high of 88. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. Republicans are changing course when it comes to early voting.
After years of criticizing voting by mail, the Republican Party is now poised to launch a new Get Out the Vote campaign that would emphasize early voting. The goal is to persuade voters who support GOP candidates to get their ballot cast early and put less pressure on Election Day turnout efforts. The state GOP party chair, Brian Schimming, says you can't go into Election Day 100,000 votes down and expect to make it up. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A fight over a floating border barrier Texas built in the Rio Grande will be heading to court. The Biden administration wants it removed immediately. Texas is saying no.
Not long after the deadline set by the Justice Department for the removal of the buoys and razor wire, and then a letter from Governor Greg Abbott to President Biden saying Texas will see you in court, Mr. President. Now the Department of Justice has quickly filed a lawsuit. In it, the federal government is claiming Texas is illegally blocking the river from boats navigating the waterway and illegally built the barrier without the approval of the Army Corps of Engineers. Plus, it says it raises humanitarian concerns. It's demanding Texas pay to remove it immediately. But Governor Abbott says under the Constitution that Texas has a right to protect its borders.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. Half a dozen units at Lydell Apartments at Bayshore remain evacuated after high levels of the cancer-causing chemical TCE were found inside its Building 3. Now, the property owner is offering to terminate their leases at no cost, as well as providing a $500 reimbursement for their moving expenses. Cypress Bayshore Residential is also offering the displaced Building 3 residents the ability to relocate to another building within the Lydell apartment complex if there's room available. Cypress says they're continuing to work with the Wisconsin DNR and the North Shore Health Department on a solution to get TCE levels down. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, citing Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 4:34.
Come celebrate Germanfest, Milwaukee's original house party. This weekend, authentic German food, beer, and steel timber sports competition. For more on Germanfest, visit germanfest.com.
Oh, you forgot to clean out your backpack since school ended? Oh, rotten.
Let's make our windows.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
While we can't do anything about rotten lunches, Pella's lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per month per window and $78 per patio door. Visit PellaWI.com.
You're gonna love it, you're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showings, the months it takes. But there's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will buy your home today completely as is. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned. Doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Grego, did you see the Barbie movie or the Oppenheimer movie, or did you take any movies this weekend? It was a huge weekend at the box office.
I did not, but I was having a very good time reliving all of the pink things we did in the studio, including the sugar scrub that I put on my face that I was not supposed to put on my face.
Yeah, so I don't like. I was just overwhelmed by all the pink.
There's a lot of pink.
Barbiness
There's a lot of pink.
The weekend, so I said, I'm really tired of all the pink, and so you know what, Greg and our producer, I showed up in the studio, and everything in the studio was pink.
Yeah, we had a pink folder for you, we had a pink highlighter for you, we had pink everything.
You
Notebooks.
had a pink packing luggage cubes.
I did.
Pink notebook that you were taking your notes in. And then the highlight of the whole thing was, as we were just doing the segment, and I was looking at my computer, out of the corner of my eye, I see Greg. And by the way, we live stream the show, so this is why you should check it out at WTMJ.com, the live stream. I look over, and Greg has opened up a big tube of pink glittery something, and you were slathering it on your face.
Well, it's a sugar face scrub. Barbie made it, and it was exfoliating, and it also burned because I think I was supposed to. It was more. I don't think it was meant for the face, and you were supposed to have water on your face or your body. I don't know. I
you
did
were
it
sweating.
wrong.
I looked and you looked like you were starting to sweat, and you literally didn't feel good.
Yeah, it didn't feel good at all, and it was more salty than sugary. I can tell you that because some ended up in my mouth.
Did it get in your eyes? Did
No,
it hurt
I was able to avoid that. Thankfully.
Well, your skin looks very nice today.
I kind of thought so too.
You
My
really
wife
have good
appreciated
skin
it.
to begin with, but it really looks. I think it's next level.
So no, I did not see Barbie. Long story short.
I think the scrub worked actually, if I'm being honest.
Thank you.
I mean, I can see it kind of on your cheekbones. You have nice high cheekbones, and I think it works.
Accentuated by the products that I use.
Yeah.
I think $155 million is no joke, though, right? And Oppenheimer was in the $80 million range, like for a Hollywood that's kind of struggling and on the fritz right now and in strike, like. I feel like they needed a weekend like this. Who knows where it goes from here, but a great opening weekend.
Indeed. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, covers the movies, and he is with us. Jason, $155 million. Give us some perspective. How big a deal was this weekend?
It's actually bigger than that, $162 million. The numbers that come in on Sundays, those are estimates. Monday we get the actual final numbers. And so Barbie was $7 million richer than previously thought. 162, it doesn't change any of the records that it set, but so that is the best opening of the year. It's the best opening ever by a female director. That's Greta Gerwig. Best opening for a movie based on a toy. That's the top 20. It's in the top 20 opening weekends of all time. The best non-Marvel opening since the start of the pandemic, and the best non-Marvel movie since 2019 and the Last Jedi, the Star Wars film The Last Jedi. So this is absolutely huge this weekend. And then, of course, you had Oppenheimer, which went up to $82.4 million as well. And this is the best weekend that we've had, all told, in many, many years. So this is huge. This is definitely what Hollywood needs at a very weird time for Hollywood because, you know, on the one hand you have people celebrating the release of this movie and the studio celebrating the release of the movie while the actors who were in it and the people who wrote it are on strike.
You know, Jason, I was curious about the timing. It was kind of being marketed and lumped together, right? We were creating new words out of movie titles over the last several weeks. Was that a strategic Hollywood and producers, originators of the movie approach, or why did it happen that way?
No, it just happened to be. It's a counter-programming thing because the two movies would seemingly have very different audiences, and sometimes you want to do that when you have two movies that are going to be big or sizable or, you know, at least have decent weekends. Sometimes you have one movie that, like, they'll put out a horror movie and a comedy on the same weekend or something like that. That was the case here because they're both different studios. One's Universal and one's Warner Brothers, and both of them would prefer to have the weekend to themselves, right, in order to have the most possible bang for your buck. But things are weird now, and when it comes to scheduling, nobody just really knows what works because we've seen this summer, especially, a lot of movies that were supposed to be huge tentpole summer-type movies like Indiana Jones or Fast and Furious or, you know, Mission Impossible, which, those movies did well, but not the huge numbers people were expecting. Guardians of the Galaxy also did well, but not as huge. Nobody knows really how to predict things these days. And so especially when you have a movie like Barbie, a lot of the tracking goes on things that have happened before in the same area. So this is kind of a more female-based comedy. It's based on toys, but we've never really seen any. There wasn't much to base this on. So even Warner Brothers, Barbie was their movie, they were predicting for this past weekend $75 million. They didn't know exactly what they had here. And so $162 million is quite a surprise compared to the $75 million they were expecting.
ABC's Jason Nathanson is with us. So, Jason, I'm really looking forward to seeing Oppenheimer. I like going to the theater, but is this a sort of movie that would be okay to wait and watch at home, or does it have the big vistas? Do you recommend, no, you got to see this one actually in the theater?
No, you have to see this one in the theater, and you have to see it. You don't have to do anything, but if you're going to see it in IMAX if possible. I don't know if there's a 70-millimeter IMAX screen near you guys. It's because there are only 19 in the country. But that is the format. That is the preferred format of Christopher Nolan, who made it. I saw it in 70-millimeter IMAX. It was stunning. So see it in the biggest format possible. If you can't see it in 70-millimeter, then regular IMAX is fine, though from what I understand, a lot of those showings are sold out, so it's tough to get tickets. But this is definitely a movie I would recommend seeing in IMAX. I know for some people it doesn't matter, and seeing it at home is just the same. But I think both of these movies, Barbie and Oppenheimer, benefit from the big screen in different ways. Oppenheimer, because that's the way Christopher Nolan filmed it, and he has just such a fantastic eye, and his cinematographer, it's going to get nominated for all of those Academy Awards. Barbie, on the other hand, seeing it in a theater with a bunch of people, which the theaters are packed with, people just having a ton of fun, that's another way to see it that I think is a lot more fun than seeing it at home as well.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to see 55-year-old women dressed up like Barbie?
Yeah, right.
That's part of the fun, and drinking, too. Yeah, I heard those bottles rolling down the aisles in the theater that I was in. I know what was happening, and the hooting and the hollering and the clapping, it's all part of the experience.
Little bottles of Sutter Home rolling by your feet, Jason, right, as you're enjoying the movie?
James and Bartles, old wine cooler bottles.
The only thing is the boxes of wine, you can't hear those roll down the aisles.
That's a very good point. Harder to get into the theater, though. Very much harder to get into the theater.
So if I can only get to one this weekend, and I know I'm just going to ask you, if I can only get to one this weekend, which one should I go see?
Oh, there's such very different movies, and it really depends on you and who you are as a person. If you're looking for something light and fun and funny and you just want to feel good, Barbie's the one. If you like, historical dramas and Oscar contenders, then Oppenheimer is the one for you.
Is Oppenheimer long?
It is 3 hours, so plan accordingly.
All right.
All those people who saw both this weekend in back-to-back screenings, which we understand there were several 100,000 people who did that. They were in the movie theaters for 6 hours total when you count previews and everything.
Wow, man! So when you're drinking all those high noons in the theater, plan a bathroom break in the middle of that thing.
Right.
You really have to plan strategic. I swear to God, I got into the theater because I wanted to get my seat for Oppenheimer. I wanted to get the best seat in the house, so I got there about half an hour early to pick that, and I had my drink sitting there just staring at me because I knew I couldn't start drinking it until about, I don't know, halfway into the movie or so, or I was going to have to leave, and I didn't want to miss a minute of it.
ABC's Jason Nathanson. Good stuff, Jason. Thank you so much for being with us.
Sure thing. Take care.
It is 444 WTMJ. Up next, live in the studio, Best Buddies. They're our charitable partner for the WTMJ Classic. This is such a great organization. We have two guests live with us in the studio. That is up next on WTMJ.
Hey, if you're struggling to find a place for doggy daycare, boarding, professional grooming, and even a place to hang out, catch a game, and enjoy a beer, I've got the place for you. It's the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls, the ultimate hangout for hounds and for humans. They do all the things I mentioned inside a 12,000 square foot facility on 3 acres of land. They also have an incredible Facebook page. See the dozens of pictures they post each and every day. When your dog is in their hands, your dog is in great hands at the Hounds and Tap. Trained dog handlers, incredibly clean facility. It's a positive reinforcement facility as well. You'll love that your dog is in great hands at the Hounds and Tap. Stop by for the food truck, grab a beer, catch a game with the dog or without. Connecting hounds and humans to make every day a play day. It's the Hounds and Tap.
For 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service, luxurious accommodations, and an unmatched standard for excellence. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at Mason Street Grill and Cafe at the Pfister. Pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations at thepfisterhotel.com.
The boys from the Queen City are coming to town. But this town, with this division lead, this is the land of kings.
How'd you become king then?
Get up! Get out of here! Go! A drive to deep right field. How far will it fly? The track at the wall. Gone!
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35. Presented by American Family Insurance. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Rewards Member Appreciation Event. While we offer unbeatable deals every day, now through August 2nd, we're showing extra appreciation to our rewards members with exclusive deals, like reliable, long-lasting Cooper tires. Right now, buy 3, get 1 free, with up to $75 in consumer rebates when you buy 4. Rewards members get an extra $25 instant savings. Plus, get Blaine's Best Price Promise, the guaranteed lowest price or we'll match it.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
I'm Wyatt Farmar Pooley. It's your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We'll take a look at the roads here. 94 is looking like a bit of a mess between the Zoo Interchange and downtown. That's both ways. It's centered on the Stadium Interchange, but it's slow pretty much all the way between the Zoo and downtown. 94 westbound is slow coming out of the Menominee Valley to the Stadium, and then 94 eastbound is slow headed up to the Stadium. Once you get past it on going both ways, it should be pretty good. It's a couple minutes slow on 94 westbound in Waukesha County as well. Zoo to Highway 16 is a 13-minute ride right now. We're also looking at 43 slow both ways. Southbound from Brown Deer to downtown is a 25-minute ride. That's about a 14-minute delay. Northbound, not as bad. From downtown to Brown Deer is a 15-minute ride. That's about a 4-minute delay. Help your fellow commuters report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. You can visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Discovery. I'm Wyatt Barmar Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. All right, Claire, I lost the weather here. I had it here somewhere. Matthew, you got weather over there? Here's what we're doing tonight. Partly cloudy, slight chance for rain, a low of 71. Tomorrow it warms up, humid, a high of 88. The humidity grows on Wednesday. Hot, a high of 91. You think that's something? Check out Thursday. Hot, more humid, a high of 94. Going to feel like well over 100 degrees inland. On Friday, partly cloudy, a chance for storms, a high of 83 degrees. Right now at Lac La Belle, it is sunny and 79 degrees. The WTMJ Classic taking place today at the club at Lac La Belle. A beautiful day. It's about golf. It's about fun. It's about friendship. It's also about raising money and awareness for one of the really good organizations in our area. It is Best Buddies. I love this organization. They do so much for so many people in our neck of the woods. And we are joined in the studio by 2 very special guests. I want to welcome in Claire Topp, who is with Best Buddies, and Tim Brown, who is on the board of directors for Best Buddies. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us here.
I want to start with you, Tim. Tell me about the mission of Best Buddies.
Yeah, mission is really, it's a global volunteer movement to focus on the intellectual development disability community, and it's really built around forming one-to-one relationships with youth and young professionals, as well as integrated employment and leadership development to really, so folks have a voice and they can be heard. So it's a great organization, and we're very, very happy to be here today with you guys.
Give me a look inside what the day-to-day or week-to-week looks like. What are some of the things you try to do to accomplish that mission?
So some of the things we do is we have a youth program, and we reach out to the high schools, and we also do colleges, and we pair up buddies and try to recruit some of those students to be one-to-one friendships with our community. And we also have a job placement program, also working with corporations and businesses around the Milwaukee and Wisconsin area, and it's been very successful and continues to grow. And we also really provide around advocacy and training and helping build confidence to be able to speak, be able to have a voice and be heard.
Claire, what's this meant to you, this whole Best Buddies program? How have you benefited?
I've won Champion of the Year in 2021.
What does that mean?
We raise a lot of money for Best Buddies Wisconsin, and we hang out with friends and family and donate to Best Buddies a lot.
It's a cool program, isn't it?
Yes.
What do you like about Best Buddies? What does Best Buddies mean to you if somebody doesn't know anything about it? Why is it important to you?
So, I have special needs called Jacob syndrome, and it helps me get around with people, like seeing people every day, like checking in with me. Like, I was at high school, I was on the board for my school, and it was really fun, and we do a lot of outings in the school district.
How important is it to have a safe place where you can go and you can have friends and you can do all sorts of cool stuff? How important is that?
Really important.
Tim, that's got to put a smile on your face as I look back to you, right? You've got a real example of how powerful the Best Buddies program is, sitting just feet away from us.
Yeah, Claire's been a star for us, and she continues to be very involved. And that's what we're really trying to promote, is getting inclusiveness of this community with just general population, and because they have so much to offer all of us. In fact, we've seen so many youth actually transformed, more so than our patrons do, because it is so impactful on everybody's lives. I mean, Best Buddies International impacts over 1 million people across the world. We are a part of a great organization internationally. We have 3,000 chapters across the world, and all 50 states are represented, plus 47 countries.
And Claire, did you go to high school in southeastern Wisconsin?
Yes, at Wauwatosa East.
Tosa East High School.
Yes.
Right, so you had the Best Buddies program was integrated in the high school, and you had a Best Buddy, I guess, at the high school, right? Is that how it works?
Yes.
So how does that work? Tell us about your Best Buddy.
I have a lot of Best Buddies. I have Anya Rampt, Claire Rampt, Aubrey Moore, Nyla, all the people, all my friends are my buddies.
Do you work on homework together? Do you go to movies? What are some of your favorite things to do with your Best Buddies?
We hang out a lot together.
That's fun. We need to hang out with them.
They're doing cool stuff.
And we do, we have a gala every year at the Pfister.
Oh, how fun. So you get all dressed up? Like a gala?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds absolutely amazing, actually.
So, Tim, for those who donate to the Best Buddies program, how is that money used? Where does it go if people are to donate?
Yeah, it's a great question. We actually try to put as much as possible right back into the community and try to provide programs and reach out to more high schools. So if we can expand our footprint a little bit more and get more of Wisconsin involved, that's where that money goes. Because as you can see from Claire, it makes a huge difference to our community.
Does it make sense, or does it happen this way where you start at the elementary level or middle school level? Can it continue to colleges and universities?
Yeah, it really starts at the high school level. There are so many programs for the young children. We don't turn away anybody, but we really focus on those young adults because, as you can imagine, when you turn 18, it's really tough to get friends and have a community. Usually you're on your own. There's so many things for young children, but young adults not so much. So this is so important to their growth and their development and just feeling a part of the community.
Tim, I want to ask you about integrated employment, something that's so important when we think about our families and about our communities. Talk about the importance of integrated employment and how Best Buddies helps with that.
Well, we underestimate the abilities of our IDD community. They actually can do a lot more than you would expect. And so corporations now not only have them just working manual work, but they're thought leaders too. They come in, they add a different perspective to different parts of the business. For instance, we have people at Kessler's, you have people in different corporations from Northwestern Mutual across the board. So it's really a great way to get people to be on their own, start paying taxes, start being a part of the community of adult life, and that's something that's been missing for a lot of adults that have IDD.
Claire, what's your dream job?
Working in a district school building.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to be a special ed teacher.
Oh, you'd be fantastic at that. That would be awesome. I hope you get to do that. I want to thank Best Buddies because you partner with us, you make a difference in the community, and you touch lives. And it's not just individuals, but it's families, and it's whole communities. And Tim, what you do is so very important, and we want to thank you for doing that.
And thank you for having us out here. It's been a great day, and we are just blessed to be here.
Claire, you're awesome.
Yes.
Come back and do the show with us sometime soon, will you? Come downtown and hang out with us.
Okay.
All right, we're going to make that happen. Tim Brown, Claire Top, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
Give future generations a connection to their past by securing cemetery property today. Now is always the best time to buy cemetery property because purchasing today is your best protection against rising prices and limited inventory. Whether you choose burial or cremation, we have options for every belief at any budget. Speak with us today about available financing and pricing options. We're Arlington Park Cemetery. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
4141 South 27th Street, Greenfield, Wisconsin, 53221.
People who suffer from long-term chronic joint pain spend so much of their time acting, putting up a carefree front. It's exhausting.
I was really tired of trying to act like I wasn't in pain because I was in pain all the time.
Rick Rawlings didn't want everyone else to know that he was coping with agonizing shoulder pain 24/7.
Yes, I had to put on a face to cover up my pain.
But then Rick found QC Kinetics, offering new lasting treatments for joint pain using natural biologics. Treatments designed to restore and repair joint tissue with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The results were amazing.
I am very glad. It changed my life doing the QC Kinetics. Today, my shoulders feel wonderful. The cranky Rick is gone. He's not grouchy anymore.
No more acting. Feel like yourself again with a call to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
The boys from the Queen City are coming to town. But this town, with this division lead, this is the land of kings.
Well, I can become king then.
Get up! Get on there! Go! A drive to deep right field. How far will it fly? The track at the wall. Gone!
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. WTMJ.
Jim Griffin here. Griffin's Sizzlin' Service Specials are here for you. Get your oil changed, tires inspected and rotated, battery and air filter checked, multi-point inspection done, AC checked, and even wiper blades changed, all for $129.95, available at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News, live from the WTMJ Classic at the club at Lac La Belle. It's your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're going to keep an eye on 94. It's still slow through the stadium interchange. That's 94 westbound. That's where we're seeing most of the delays. 94 eastbound seems to have worked itself out as you head from the zoo into downtown. We're also seeing a lot of delays on 4145 southbound from Silver Spring Drive up to Highway 145. There's a crash on 4145 southbound at Silver Spring. That is off on the left shoulder. Could be causing some of those delays. And 43 southbound still slow pretty much from Bayshore down past Capitol. 41 northbound slow as you head out of the downtown of the Marquette interchange. But once you get up towards Capitol, you'll be having a smooth ride. Help your fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Mazda traffic tip line. That's 414-238-9329. You can visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of discovery. Tonight, partly cloudy, slight chance of showers, a low of 71. Tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy, very warm and humid, a high of 88. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, Republicans changing course when it comes to early voting.
After years of criticizing voting by mail, the Republican Party is now poised to launch a new Get Out the Vote campaign that would emphasize early voting. The goal is to persuade voters who support GOP candidates to get their ballot cast early and put less pressure on Election Day turnout efforts. The state GOP party chair, Brian Schimming, says you can't go into Election Day 100,000 votes down and expect to make it up. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
The Racine County District Attorney's Office has cleared all involved officers of any wrongdoing in a fatal police shooting that happened in May. On May 21st, Mount Pleasant police responded to a domestic incident. Timothy Burgess shot a gun multiple times toward his wife. He did not hit her. After a child in the home called 911, Burgess fled the house. Racine police then spotted his green Range Rover shortly before midnight. They tried to stop him. Burgess fled on foot into Clayton Park. When officers tried to arrest him, he shot at them, and 8 of them returned fire. No officers were injured. No charges will be filed. A reporter covering Country Thunder's opening night in Twin Lakes says she was yelled at and subjected to a racist slur. TMJ4's Taylor Lumpkin says a person came up to her while she was reporting on the event unprovoked and called her the slur twice. 101.7 The Truth's Telly Hughes tells Wisconsin's Morning News he sees a trend when it comes to these types of incidents.
These things should not be swept under the rug, and I think that's been the problem. And then when it does come to the surface, it's, hey, let's start the conversation. How long have we been starting the conversation?
Country Thunder's Code of Conduct says fans are entitled to enjoy the festival experience free from disruptive or inconsiderate behaviors or unruly actions. A tragic accident is suspected in the drowning death of a 1-year-old boy over the weekend in Milwaukee. It happened on Friday during a family gathering at a home near 17th and Lapham. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office says the baby's mother put him in the living room, but have returned to find him gone. The adults all split up to look for him, finding him eventually at the bottom of an above-ground pool in the backyard. They pulled the child out of the water, and 4 people attempted CPR until first responders arrived. The 1-year-old did pass away at the hospital, despite life-saving measures attempted by the EMTs. The home did have a baby metal gate installed inside it, though Milwaukee police investigators on the scene say they were able to push it open without unlocking it. Half a dozen units at Lydell Apartments in Bayshore remain evacuated after high levels of the cancer-causing chemical TCE were found inside Building 3. Now, the property owner is offering to terminate that lease at no cost, as well as a $500 reimbursement for any moving expenses these people have. Cypress Bayshore Residential is also offering those displaced residents the ability to relocate to another building within the Lydell complex if there's room available. Cypress says they're continuing to work with the Wisconsin DNR and the North Shore Health Department on a solution to get those TCE levels down. A popular piece of Packers fan apparel will now be manufactured directly by the team.
Since 1987, Foamation Incorporated, operated by the family of Ralph Bruno, has produced the fan apparel. But the Packers saying in a release Monday, the family has been looking to shift gears and reached out to the team to make sure the product remains on store shelves going forward. The Packers say the popular foam hats will continue to be manufactured in Wisconsin and that they are exploring new opportunities to grow the brand and create new products for the upcoming season. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey Wisconsin, it's fair season. I'm Randy Miller from All Right Home and Remodeling. The music, food, animals, and entertainment are here. We look forward to seeing all of you at the Washington, Ozaukee County, and State Fair too. Be sure to come see us and say hello. After more than 50 years, the All Right family has never been more excited to see you. For exterior home improvement and insulation, visit us at the fairs or online at ALLRITEremodeling.com.
An evening with Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
The Spirit Trail 25th Anniversary Tour.
Some things will never change.
October 17th at the Pabst Theater. An intimate solo performance from Bruce Hornsby.
Sneaking up on Boo Radley.
Hear selections from Spirit Trail and other favorites. Tickets on sale now at PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
You're just going to have to live with it. That's what I told myself. And if you can believe it, that's what the doctors told me.
Since Andy was a boy, he had health issues, which later we would find were primarily due to his trouble breathing. So for 36 years, Andy lived with about 85% blockage in his nose. He had to breathe through his mouth. because when he tried to breathe through his nose, it felt like he was being suffocated. It affected his sleep, his work life, and his ability to play sports. And he wasn't going to let it ruin his life anymore. So he came to Advent. As bad as it was, his problem required a simple solution. In-office balloon sinuplasty and turbinate reduction. Procedures you won't find offered by big box healthcare. This is Dr. Madan Kandula. It's definitely possible that your nasal breathing problems have a simple solution too. You can hear Andy's story in his own words at adventknowsandy.com and begin on your path to breathing well and living better.
Results may vary.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzek.
Something happened over the weekend at American Family Field. Did you feel it? Did you experience it? Were you in the stands each of the days the Brewers played the East-leading Atlanta Braves? Maybe you were there on Friday. Well, the Braves won that game. Maybe you were there on Saturday when the unexpected happened. A Brewers rookie in his first career big league game paved the way to a Brewers win, a come-from-behind win. 3 for 3 for Sal Frelick with 2 RBI and 2 potential extra base hit saving catches. Unbelievable night. A great day at the ballpark on Sunday until things went sour in the 8th. But if you were at those games, you were probably on the edge of your seats. If you were not at those games, you were probably checking your phone a little more often than regularly. Why? Because you're starting to feel the playoff itch. That's the special part about baseball for contending teams in late July. There's the idea that in a week's time, the Brewers roster could change a little bit, that the roster will be fortified before the trade deadline, which is August 2nd. The Brewers have played playoff-type series since the break ended. Against the Reds, against Philadelphia, both those series on the road, and then the recent homestand beginning series against the Braves. It'll continue tonight against the Reds, and then again when the Brewers go to Atlanta. So buckle up, enjoy the ride, check your phone, dive in on the games, buy tickets, embrace everything that becomes of a contending team in Major League Baseball.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, we are at beautiful Lac La Belle, the club at Lac La Belle, a fantastic golf course, voted best new golf course in the whole state of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. It is absolutely fantastic. We're wrapping up a beautiful day here. We'll be joined by the director of golf out here. Clint Higgins joins us live in the studio coming up in just about 5 or 6 minutes. What a fantastic day it's been. I was thrilled last hour to meet our friends from Best Buddies. That is a legit, real organization that helps so many people. And we talk about the special needs people that they help and the difference they make for families and the communities where they serve. But it's open to anybody. It's part of their inclusion. And if you don't know much about Best Buddies, you really ought to get online and check it out. It's bestbuddies.org. They are absolutely fantastic.
Thousands of kids across the country are impacted by Best Buddies, including Claire, who's a student at Wauwatosa East High School. And everybody's her buddy is what it sounds like. But the Best Buddies program is integrated in Tosa East and many other schools in southeastern Wisconsin. So to see how a donation, the impact of that donation today and learn more about it, it's a spectacular cause.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So what else is going on?
Are you into ding-dongs?
Oh, my God. I love ding-dongs and I love ho-hos.
Do you love Twinkies?
Not as much, no. But I'll eat it. I just had a Twinkie, actually, last week.
Okay. It's probably been since 1987 since I've had a Twinkie. And I would say maybe 2004 since I've had a ding-dong. But Hostess, and I don't know what took so long here, but they have finally mashed up the ding-dong in Twinkie. Now, this is not you get a couple of Twinkies in a box. This is not you get a couple of ding-dongs in a box. No, this is it looks like a ding-dong, right? It looks like the hockey puck.
The chocolate coating, all right?
Yes, and then when you bite in, then you have your weird spongy vanilla whatever kind of Twinkie cake and then the Twinkie filling. So they have mashed up ding-dongs and Twinkies in
Does it
one.
have a name?
No, it just says ding-dongs plus Twinkies. So I guess
this a real thing?
It is a real thing. Again, now occasionally, John, I will bring headlines to you that are real, and then one that I think is out of the onion or one that is out of the onion to make you guess. But this is real. Hostess has finally merged ding-dongs and Twinkies into one delicious treat.
How about Dwinkie?
You could do
Twinkie. Or Twong Dong.
I think that might be something totally different. And we'll
that's called WTMJ Nights.
Yeah, Twang Dong is something totally different. We'll avoid that. The food giant has announced this, so you get your spongy cake and creamy filling of Twinkies along with the fudgy chocolate frosting of Ding Dongs.
Are these in stores yet?
Yes, 1 calorie gut bomb right there for you for dinner.
Well, you don't count calories if you're bothering to eat Twinkies.
Comes in a 10 count, individually wrapped as per usual.
I'm straight up serious. I might stop on the way home, see if I can find those somewhere. There's a Sendik's not far from here. Do they even sell Hostess at Sendik's, or are they too? Ooh, we don't sell Hostess.
Well, there is a handy Hostess store locator, so you just sort of plug in your zip code and you'll figure out exactly where Hostess. There used to be like Hostess day-old bakery shops.
Yes,
you remember that?
I do.
You could find like yesterday's powdered sugar donuts.
Yes, they were fantastic.
What happened to those places, man?
So use the thing. Type in my zip code.
Well, I've punched it up here, so the Hostess store locator.
53051.
Well, it can't be reached. We'll have to figure this out. We will report back. I will find out where there is a Hostess dealer or where Hostess products are carried. Most grocery stores, I'd assume.
What's your favorite Hostess treat? You're going to a deserted island. You can only take one Hostess treat for the rest of eternity. What are you taking?
Would Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies count?
No.
That's
not Hostess.
I want to go Little Debbie here.
No. Come on. That's like a porn. No, you don't.
Well,
no, you don't. Hostess is better.
I'd probably go Twinkie because I know the odds of that Twinkie ever going bad are slim to none.
That's
right?
true.
It ain't happening.
That's
that thing
true.
is lasting.
That's a really good point. You bring a case of those, it would never go bad.
It's not going to go rotten.
Have you ever had a Zinger?
I have had a Zinger.
Do you like the raspberry Zinger or the one with the chocolate stripe on top?
I like the one with Skittles in the middle.
Ooh, I never heard of that. I think you just invented another mashup.
Well, those are ones that I created on my own. I bit them and I would stuff Skittles in the middle of it.
A Zinger with Skittles would be the Ziddle.
It would also be the Twang Dong, amazingly.
Now, you got to admit, that's a great name for it.
It is a great name for something, yes.
The Twang Dong. Are we still on the air?
I hope not.
We are. All right. Up next, we're going to talk golf with the guy who knows golf. He's the golf pro, the director of golf at this beautiful place where we're hanging out. Clinton Higgins with us live in the studio up next on WTMJ. Let me tell you a little bit about the Fox and Hounds. I was just at the Fox and Hounds last week, and I absolutely love it. Historic restaurant right there in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest. Absolutely fantastic. You know it's great food and it's great value. It's buy one, get one free all the time, even the steak and lobster, and it's really good food. It's historic, and they were just voted the best supper club in the area. The best supper club in the area, the famous Fox and Hounds, 1930s timber structure. It is fantastic. Desserts, by the way. Also, buy one, get one free. Maybe they could do a Hostess-themed dessert up there at the Fox and Hounds. Buy one, get one free. Ice cream drinks are buy one, get one free. They've got a great beer garden. I love the beer garden. The drive alone is absolutely spectacular. Set in the foothills of the Kettle Moraine Forest. You need to check out the famous Fox and Hounds. Spectacular drive. Brighten up your Tuesday. Head to the Fox and Hounds. I know weekends get busy. You got graduation parties. Yeah. Go today or go tomorrow to the Fox and Hounds where one dinner is free and there's no gimmicks or no coupons. You put your seats in the seats and you pay for half of the dinners. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim Pop, President and CEO of Johnson Financial Group. At JFG, we make it a point to invest in and support the communities we serve. And our flagship location at the top of Cathedral Place is a perfect example of that commitment. Our associates absolutely love the energy, the activities, and the connections they're able to make by being downtown. It's a great time to be in the city of Milwaukee, and I encourage all of you to experience it for yourself. Check it out at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Doris is a talker.
Talk.
But this is a conversation you'll want to be in the middle of.
The Doris sofa at Penny Mustard is the ultimate conversation piece.
With a unique, ever so slightly curved frame.
It's like sitting next to someone and across from them, all at the same time.
The Doris sofa, sophisticrafted with a solid wood frame, ultra high-density foam, and hundreds of fabric options. Starting at $26.79 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Deliciousness from scratch. That's the Packing House.
Well, if you're going to run a genuine supper club in this town, you better have one big old staple, and that is prime rib. 12-ounce queen or 16-ounce king, no matter which one you choose, any way you slice it, it's a big hunk of USDA-certified Black Angus prime rib, and it is juicy as all get up, and it is amazing. Like butter, some would say, and they have. You won't make a mistake with this, baby. It's been on the menu since day one. And there are a number of cult-like followers out there that would have my head if I ever took it off. And don't worry, folks. The best prime rib in town is here to stay. This is Chris Weichen, inviting you to enjoy deliciousness from scratch at the Packing House, a heritage Milwaukee supper club destination across from the airport on Layton.
That's the Packing House. deliciousness from scratch. That's the packing house.
Served Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Traffic is brought to you by the senior real estate specialists at brucesteam.com, with you every step of the way. From downsizing to selling the long-time home, the senior real estate specialists at Bruce's Team are with you every step of the way. 262-242-6177.
I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley, and we will take a look at the roads here with your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Looks like everything is starting to improve a little bit, although the places that have been slow all afternoon are getting worse. 41 southbound Highway Q2, the Zoo, currently a 26-minute ride. That's about a 10-minute delay. 43 southbound continues to be a mess. There is, it's currently a 46-minute ride. That is over a 35-minute delay right now from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Those are pretty much the major trouble spots. Everywhere else, including 94, which has been trouble this afternoon, is looking a little bit better, but 43 southbound, definitely a place to avoid right now. I'm Wyatt Barmore Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
New golf course in Wisconsin just a couple of years ago with a very rich history. It's an incredible place. Clint Higgins is the director of golf at Lac La Belle. Thank you so much for being with us, Clint.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me today.
First, a question from the guys in my foursome that I was with. Could you make the greens any tougher?
we chose favorable pins today to try to help pace the play so we could actually get it a little bit tougher out here. But yeah, definitely in some tough spots today, but we try to have a couple favorable locations for folks as well.
There's a couple punch bowls, and if you could just get it to a ridge, it'll end up settling pretty close to the hole, which we like.
For sure. That was part of the architectural design, is to be able to play the ball low to the ground and use the slopes and undulations to access hard-to-reach hole locations. So, for sure.
Clint, you've made a professional life in golf. We were talking about all the places you've been, San Diego to Cabo, I mean, all over the world, really, covering and working in golf. And then you end up a few years ago at the club at Lac La Belle. So my curiosity triggers the question, what stood out about this place and this opportunity that would bring you from those other incredible destination locations?
The golf course has its roots all the way back to 1896, and a local family purchased the property in 2018. And I was watching it from a distance, and then put my resume in the hat, and was offered the opportunity in 2020. What kind of attracted me to the property was golf course rich with history, with a brand new beginning under new ownership and a complete renovation.
The history is really, really remarkable, going back to the early 1900s, a little bit before that, as you referenced. Tell us about the imprint this left on the national golf landscape with some of your first pros and some of the history that goes back all those years.
Yeah, 1896, this golf course was established. Its first golf professional was Alex Smith. Alex Smith won 2 U.S. Opens. Our third golf professional, Willie Anderson, won 4 U.S. Opens. So when golf was just a fad here in the Lake Country was populated by affluent money from the Chicago area. And when it was just a fad, they wanted to make golf more than a fad out here in Lake Country, and they sought after the best golfers in the world, and the best golfers in the world were from Carnoustie, Scotland. So they sought after the best, and Alex Smith was the first. Willie Anderson was the third. Both golf professionals here, again, like I mentioned, multiple U.S. Open winners. They had golf's first rivalry. We coined our pub the Rivalry Pub in these guys' honor. It wasn't Bobby Jones and Walter Higgins with golf's first rivalry, or Nicklaus and Palmer. It was Alex Smith and Willie Anderson right out here in Oconomowoc and Lake Country in the late 1800s and early 1900s. They dominated major championship golf.
You know what I love about this, Clinton, you walk through the clubhouse. It's just a beautifully designed clubhouse and banquet area, but the history is really honored here. And it also is, I think, reflective in the redesign and the reimagination of the course. Like, there's some things that'll take you back to 1896 when this course became a thing. And I know that was really important when they sunk all the money into renovation.
Yeah, for sure. Great point. The Morse family who purchased the property wanted this golf course redesigned with some Scottish influence. Our course architect, Craig Holton, did his architectural studies in Scotland. He's a Wisconsin native. That was also important for the Morse family, to have someone from Wisconsin do this redesign and to tie it back to its original Scottish roots and Carnoustie's ties from Alex and Willie. Craig was able to do that here.
What did it mean when in 2021 you were named the best new golf course in the entire state of Wisconsin, a state rich in golf history?
I think it meant a lot for me on an operational side to be a part of it. I think it resonated more with the Morse family. They set out to do something here and set goals, and they were able to accomplish those goals and redesign a golf course and bring it to the forefront of the golf industry where we are right now. It's a testament to their love for the game, and then also sharing that story of Alex and Willie. They didn't have to do that. They don't have to do that, and that's what they're standing behind here, so that's really cool.
Clint Higgins, Director of Golf here at the club at Lac La Belle. I want to ask you about the logo as well. It's a really coolly designed tree, which is sort of a trademark of the course. And we were playing one of the holes out here, and there is a placard by the tree that is reflective in the logo, a tree that somehow started on fire on its own. That in itself is a story.
Yeah, we'll call that one divine intervention. On Good Friday, a very prominent tree that the whole hole on hole 16 was kind of designed around caught on fire, and it fell to the ground Easter Sunday. And the placard out there says there's no lightning in sight. There wasn't any lightning in sight. It caught fire. We watched it burn through the night, and it fell to the ground. Fell to the ground Easter Sunday. So kind of poetic for sure.
That is absolutely remarkable. Clint, Wisconsin golf. It's amazing what Wisconsin has done when it comes to a golf, a place where you cannot play golf year-round. What is it about Wisconsin and the commitment to golf in our state that's made this a special place to golf?
I think it has something to do with the people here, down to earth, people that know how to love on one another and can appreciate hospitality. And we've coupled that with a great stage to play golf from here at the club at Lac La Belle. And I think statewide in Wisconsin, golf courses and golf professionals around, we're all doing the same thing, just trying to take care of people and facilitating fun and doing it when we have that 6.5, 7 month window.
It does seem like everybody's got each other's back, right? I mean, a great day at Lac La Belle, and you can play out here. There's other courses you can play and make it a destination area. That it seems like all the great courses around here really help try and support each other as much as possible.
No, for sure. Wisconsin has, with Destination Kohler, Sand Valley, Erin Hills, Links to Lasonia, Geneva National. The list goes on, and so many golf courses have been acknowledged by Golf Digest, Golf Week. We've had major championships and Ryder Cups in the state of Wisconsin. We have a lot to offer up here.
I've never played a course like this. I really haven't. Just the beauty of it, all the money that was put into making it pristine. The greens, as John mentioned, it's just a lot of fun. Like you can end up in some weird spots or feel like you hit a miss hit, and all of a sudden your ball's just slowly guiding toward the hole.
Or you have a great shot.
And maybe just kind of floats away a little bit.
It's fun.
That's the beauty of the course, though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely fun. Just continuing to grow and do its own. We started our 4th season here under new ownership. Every year the golf course just grows in better and better, and we'll get the greens faster and faster for you guys. So
yeah, right. Thank you.
How often do you get out?
Often. We'll call it once a week since we're on the air.
That's good, right? Usually you work in golf, and that doesn't mean you're playing much.
Yeah.
You found the sweet spot.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the best part about being married to a Wisconsin girl?
Tolerance. Yeah, she's real tolerable. I know she's listening, too.
You grew up around here. You have to be tolerable. You learned a lot of tough lessons here in Wisconsin.
Sure. Clint, if we can ask, right, we know it's open to the public and come out and play. What do you guys do to kind of generate more interest? Are there leagues? I know you got a great putting course out here, which is a ton of fun. How do you do your marketing to the community beside daily play?
We're active on Instagram and social media. We do an awesome Friday night fish fry. This past Friday we did a $10 buy-in putting competition. Winner took 50% of the pot. Second place was 30% of the pot. Third place was 20% of the pot. We have an awesome junior program. We participate in the PGA Junior League, so we have some kids that wear our logo and their name and their numbers on the back of jerseys, and they go and represent the club at Lac La Belle at different golf courses. We have our ladies men's member days where our members invite their guests out here to enjoy the club at Lac La Belle as well. We partner with all kinds of organizations to raise money for nonprofits. We're staying busy out here for sure.
Clint Higgins is the director of golf at the club at Lac La Belle. It's a very special place. Clint, thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for hosting us today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate the partnership and everything that WTMJ does for the club at Lac La Belle.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green today. Stocks begin to rise to kick off a big week. Lots of earnings reports will come in today. Fed Reserve stuff. The S&P 500 was up 18 points today. The Dow was up 183. The NASDAQ up 26. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Hey, radon is in your home. You got to get it out. Trust the folks at Lifetime Radon Solutions to do it. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. It's exactly what we did. Radon levels in our Menominee Falls home were too high. We had to get it out. Lifetime Radon Solutions installed a mitigation system in less than a day, and there we go. Our minds were put at ease. Did you know radon's the second leading cause of cancer in the United States? Well, give Lifetime Radon a call. Free home test is available for you. No strings attached. They'll come out and check out your situation. Mitigation systems start as low as $9.95. Take care of your family and give a call to Lifetime Radon Solutions and visit lifetimeradon.com.
Evans Transportation is stoked for the Milwaukee baseball playoff push. After all, they're the complete player when it comes to logistics. But instead of being a 5-tool player, Evans is the ultimate 3-tool logistics partner. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. And for the record, Evans is happy to leave the stuff to the real players. They'll stick to logistics. Good luck to Milwaukee from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
Ugh, your lunch is still in here from the last day of school? Ugh, everything is rotted.
Let's make our windows.
Ugh, did you learn that from Mom?
Yeah.
Well, you make a great point. Tell you what, let's clean out your backpack and then we'll...
From Pella.
Precisely.
While we can't stop the discovery of those rotting surprises you often find at the bottom of your kid's school backpack, Pella's limited lifetime warranty on wood windows and doors makes it so that you'll never have to worry about rotting windows again. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make payments as low as $35 per window and $78 per patio door. Experience Pella's nearly endless possibilities for maximum design flexibility, featuring dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, and more. With Pella's limited lifetime warranty and payments as low as $35 per month per window, $78 per door, there's no reason to wait. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics are in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, and there have been thousands of patients that have received our pain relief treatment with zero out-of-pocket expense. Our FDA-approved treatments we'll use to remedy your pain are precisely guided to its root, to provide inflammation and cushioning relief to alleviate pain. What ends up happening is you begin on a pain maintenance plan, and how committed you want to be to alleviating your pain is up to you. But at the least, you can see us semi-annually to annually to, in many cases, significantly reduce pain in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. Wisconsin's afternoon news is live from the WTMJ Classic at the club at Lac La Belle. And I found the source of the major delays on 43 southbound. It is a disabled vehicle, a silver Chevy SUV is stuck in the right lane at Locust Street. And that is a portion of the highway where there is basically no shoulder. So even though he's tried to pull off to the right, It's completely blocking the lane. That's a portion of the highway where there's only 2 lanes. So in addition to our normal 43 southbound delays, we're adding that on top of it. That is how you get to a 51-minute ride between Brown Deer Road and downtown. That is a 40-minute delay right now. 41 southbound also slow, a 26-minute ride right now. That's about a 11-minute delay. And 94 westbound still a little bit slow. From downtown to the zoo, it'll be about an 8-minute ride. That's a 1 or 2 minute delay there, but it should be easing up once you get through the stadium interchange. That's your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers, a low of 71. Tomorrow, very warm, more humid, partly cloudy, a high of 88. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, tragedy for the family of new Bucks coach Adrian Griffin. His grandson, Jace Griffin, passed away over the weekend. Jace was discovered unresponsive by his father on Saturday in Champaign, Illinois. The coroner's office there says preliminary results from the autopsy have revealed no evidence of trauma or foul play. His death appears to be from natural causes. The Milwaukee Bucks providing the following statement from Coach Griffin today. His grandson Jace was very special, and his family's passing is an agonizing tragedy that will be felt forever. He appreciates the respecting of his family's grief and privacy at this time. Decision Wisconsin, Republicans are changing course when it comes to early voting.
After years of criticizing voting by mail, the Republican Party is now poised to launch a new Get Out the Vote campaign that would emphasize early voting. The goal is to persuade voters who support GOP candidates to get their ballot cast early and put less pressure on Election Day turnout efforts. The state GOP party chair, Brian Schimming, says you can't go into Election Day 100,000 votes down and expect to make it up. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
An investigation by the U.S. Department of Labor has found that the operator of 4 Wisconsin restaurants violated several federal regulations. According to that report, Casa Tequila of Pewaukee and our owner Maria Campuzano operated an invalid tip pool at its Pewaukee restaurant, failed to pay proper overtime rate when required, and miscalculated those overtime wages that were due to some employees. In addition to the Pewaukee location, the investigation covered the employer's restaurants at Hartford, Waukesha, and West Bend. The division found Casa Tequila owes the affected employees over $272,000 in back wages. WTMJ has reached out to Casa Tequila for comment and has not heard back. A iconic piece of popular Packer fan apparel will now be directly manufactured by the team.
Since 1987, Foamation Incorporated, operated by the family of Ralph Bruno, has produced the fan apparel. But the Packers, saying in a release Monday, the family has been looking to shift gears and reached out to the team to make sure the product remains on store shelves going forward. The Packers say the popular foam hats will continue to be manufactured in Wisconsin and that they are exploring new opportunities to grow the brand and create new products for the upcoming season. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:34.
John Mercure here for Wisconsin Granite. I'm going to tell you what, Wisconsin Granite Design, they are the real deal. They are the best. They've got a huge showroom, one of the largest in the Midwest. Wisconsin Granite Design, great selection of granite, quartz, marble. They just did these stuff in my house. It is absolutely fantastic. It's gorgeous. It has transformed our house. I'm not kidding about that. Check them out. 80 years of granite fabrication experience. Choose from almost 200 slabs installed in 2 to 3 weeks. Kitchen counters, bathrooms, fireplaces, mantles. They are Wisconsin's #1 source for kitchen countertops, renovations, and remodeling. Wisconsin Granite Design. Check them out. They did a job in my house, and my house is a better house. Tell them John Mercure sent you and receive a free sink cutout valued at $300. It's Wisconsin Granite Design.
It's Samantha with Heiser. Amp up your summer fun and adventures with the all-new 2024 Toyota Highlander Grand, which is available now. Or choose from one of our other amazing vehicles that are on lot and ready to go. Plus, receive the exclusive Safe and Sound program on any vehicle you choose. This includes the Vehicle Exchange program. Don't love it? Exchange it. Stop in or visit HeiserToyota.com. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details. Text out a license, $3.99 service fees, and security deposit extra, and $731.23.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is partnered with the iconic musical duo of Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from world-renowned rock band Kiss to bring their newest hit to town, Rock and Brews Restaurant. On August 1st, rock and roll over to Potawatomi for the grand opening of Rock and Brews and satisfy your need for great food, great music, and most importantly, a great time. For more details, visit paysbig.com.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. You got to check out Annex Wealth Management. My guys there, they are the real deal. They're a fiduciary, and a fiduciary all the time, not just some of the time. They're going to give you exactly what you need when you need it. They trust everybody that works with them, and they're going to treat you like family. I've been trusting them for a very, very long time. You need to check them out. It's the time to put your investment and retirement plan under the microscope. Let them look at your stuff. It's not the time to set it and forget it. It's time to talk to the folks at Annex Wealth Management. They operate as one team. The financial planning team is in-house, investment team in-house, not done by an outside contractor. They are in-house, they're local, and it's easy to meet with Annex. They've got branches in Elm Grove, Mequon, Lake Country, downtown inside the Pfister, Appleton, Madison, Libertyville, Illinois, Naples, Florida, or as close as your computer. As close as your computer. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Check them out, AnnexWealth.com. Proud partner of the University of Wisconsin, fee-only fiduciary.
Give future generations a connection to their past by securing cemetery property today. Now is always the best time to buy cemetery property, because purchasing today is your best protection against rising prices and limited inventory. Whether you choose burial or cremation, we have options for every belief at any budget. Speak with us today about available financing and pricing options. We're Arlington Park Cemetery. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
4141 South 27th Street, Greenfield, Wisconsin, 53221.
Annex Wealth Management. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Kind of a hazy day out there today. Did you notice that? It was kind of a... it doesn't protect you from the sun, though. Look, I got sun for sure. I'm trying to look bronzed like you look. You always have that bronze look going.
I did check the air quality this morning just because I was starting to kind of sense it this morning. His haze sort of hangs around, and it was like a moderate air quality, so it was under 100.
Wasn't terrible, right?
So now, like, I'm at this point in my life now where I'm paying attention to this stuff, and I know what the numbers mean. So 50 is like kind of where you want to be. We were at 93 for a time this morning, so you probably noticed it, but it wasn't nearly as bad as what we experienced a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you got that right. Did you notice this? Wisconsin median home price sales top 300,000 for the first time. The new numbers are out.
Well, I have, right, because I'm kind of a real estate nerd, as you know, and I don't know why. I just like checking out Zillow and seeing what homes in different markets are going for. Old homes that I've owned or our family has owned. And yes, there has been a steady increase now.
It's pretty amazing. The ongoing shortage of homes for sale in most markets, plus higher mortgage rates, are combining to push sales down in some areas, but median sales price is going up. So there's no inventory anywhere, especially if you're a first-time buyer and you're trying to get in like at, most of us bought a house that was like $150,000 or below that, or you inherited a house. Now, if you're trying to get in for the first time and the median price is $300,000, it is really, really tough for first-time home buyers to crack the market.
So we're in this weird intersection, right, where interest rates are still a little higher than we would all prefer them to be. You've got inventory shortages. You've got competitive processes, right? If you see it on Zillow, more than likely it's gone. If you're in a hot market. And then you've got, homes going for over asking price. You get the bidding war that starts. So my ultimate thought is if you really need the home, you maybe get in and trust that interest rates will fall and that you could refinance, like if you feel like it's your home. But again, you outlined it here, John. It's been a pretty big, hefty increase in terms of what you're going to pay.
So we get in our neighborhood in Menominee Falls a little flyer that comes out, and it highlights, like, I don't know what it is, 8 subdivisions in our neighborhood. It's a nice glossy little 8-page flyer, and they have recipes in there, and they usually feature a family, and there's a bunch of ads. And in there, on the back page, they always list out in the last 2 weeks, it comes up about every 2 weeks, they list all the homes that have sold. They list the day it was listed, a couple basic dimensions of the home, how many bedrooms, how many baths, square footage, I think. Then they list what the asking price was, what the closing price was, and how many days on the market. And it continues to this day that almost every single house listed there sells for more than asking. And that's with people asking more because they know houses have escalated. And still almost every single house, people are paying more than what's listed as the asking.
Yeah, it kind of makes you try and figure out where you're going to find a deal.
Exactly.
Like, what is a deal in today's housing market? It's kind of tricky to find.
And the other thing is it's going to get tougher for first-time home buyers because a lot of people are sitting right now and collecting their money because interest rates are so high. So they're saying, well, you know, if I can afford a $300,000 house, if I wait and interest rates come down in 18 months, that changes the sort of house I can get into. So a lot of people are holding their money, and people aren't listing houses because they know interest rates have impacted the buyer pool.
So what was the interest rate of the first house you bought? Do you remember?
I think 6 3/4 maybe.
Okay, so mine was 5.75, and it's somewhere in between. There is about where it's at right now.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, that feels really high.
Really high.
Doesn't it? Because when you bought that house or when I bought mine, the value of the home was so much different than it is today.
Yep.
So now you've got kind of the double-edged sword where you've got the elevated interest rate perspective, but you also have the elevated home price. So it's kind of both working against you right now.
Well, I mean, the house I live in now, I think we refinanced. We're at 2.75.
Yeah, we're in the twos also.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
They're not going to touch that.
Never.
Never. Not going to touch that.
That will probably never, ever happen
No more
again either.
refinancing more than likely.
Yeah, it is absolutely unbelievable. So if you're in the market for a house, stay patient. It will eventually get better. You just got to stay patient out there. It is 5:42 at WTMJ. Coming up after the break, a very interesting book by a very accomplished author. The book is about Jackie Onassis. It's called Jackie, written by a guy who's written many, many, many books about the Kennedy family. And this guy really knows the Kennedy family. We're going to share that conversation with the author up next after the break right here on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Retirement during uncertain times can be a scary thought, but you don't have to go it alone. Our fiduciary advisors are here for you. Call 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com.
If you speed, there are lots of sounds that you might hear, like the sound of your vehicle crashing, because eventually, speeding catches up with you.
Hey, don't give in to that constant joint pain. Time to take control, take back quality of your life. With a little help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik, and QC Kinetics is helping people every day right here in the Milwaukee area and across the country for that matter with their amazing and non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue using the latest advances in regenerative medicine and taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have that agonizing pain. It's incredible and non-invasive. And it's an approach that will help you take back control of your body, relieving the pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Summertime, all about having fun, right? Making those great memories, being outside, enjoying the outdoors. Well, take control now and start living pain-free again. Give a call to QC Kinetics. Free consultation awaits with no obligation. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
What's worse, a stopped-up drain or no hot water? Yeah, it's kind of like choosing between a root canal or a full body wax. Asking you to eat a bowl full of thumbtacks or drink a gallon of paint. Either way, you lose. The good news is if you wake up to a soppy stoppage or a shivery shower, help is just one quick call away. Mr. Holland's Home Services is proud to offer the latest and greatest technology in drain cleaning and water heaters. With Mr. Holland's hydro-powered drain sweep, we send a camera down an easy entry point to pinpoint the problem and unplug your pipe. And if you need a new water heater, we offer the most energy-efficient models on the market today. Choose between a traditional water heater or the latest on-demand system. If water flows through it, we can do it. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. When your plumbing goes from good to worse, we can help.
The boys from the Queen City are coming to town. But this town, with this division lead, this is the land of kings.
How'd you become king then? Get up! Get out of here!
drive to deep right field. How far will it fly? The track at the wall. Gone!
It's the Brewers and the Reds. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:35. Presented by American Family Insurance. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Evans Transportation is stoked for the Milwaukee baseball playoff push. After all, they're the complete player when it comes to logistics. But instead of being a 5-tool player, Evans is the ultimate 3-tool logistics partner. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. And for the record, Evans is happy to leave the stuff to the real players. They'll stick to logistics. Good luck to Milwaukee from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
I'm Wyatt Farmar Pooley. Keeping an eye on that disabled vehicle on 43. It's at Locust Street. They managed to get it off onto the shoulder that's partially into the grass. We've got a squad car on scene as well. But because it's only a 2-lane highway on 43 right now, still a lot of slowdowns as people are passing, and that's continuing to back up 43 from Brown Deer to downtown right now. It is a 55-minute ride, so you're looking at about at least a 40-minute delay. And that's definitely something to keep an eye out for, and take any alternate routes if you can. 41 southbound from Highway Q to the zoo, also slow, looking a little bit better. It's currently a 27-minute ride. That's about a 12-minute delay, but it looks like things are improving there. And then 94 eastbound slow as you approach the stadium right around 76th Street. You'll see a lot of brake lights there. I'm Wyatt Farmar Pooley with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, partly cloudy, slight chance for showers. A great night to keep the air on, a low of 71 degrees. Tomorrow, warm and humid, a high of 88. On Wednesday, hot and humid, a high of 91 degrees with a chance for rain. Thursday, sunny, hot, humid, a high of 94. And on Friday, little cool front rolls through, chance for thunderstorms, a high of 83 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 80 degrees. There's an incredible new book out. It's called Jackie. J. Randy Taraborelli is the author. He's written extensively about the Kennedy family. I had the chance to catch up with J. Randy earlier this week. I want to start with the title of the book because that's a fascinating little story. Jackie, Public-Private Secret. Tell us about the title of the book.
Well, the title of the book comes from a story that her very good friend, John Warnicki, who designed the JFK Memorial at Arlington. He told me this story. He and Jackie had been romantically involved for 3 years. They remained friends throughout her entire life. And when she turned about 60 years old, she had a conversation with him in which he asked her what he saw. He asked her what she saw in Aristotle Onassis. Because John just didn't think that she and Onassis had much in common. And Jackie said, well, you know, Jack, she called him Jack. She said, you know me, I have 3 lives, public, private, and secret. And that said so much to Warnicki and also, you know, meant a lot because it's true. You know, the public life is the life that we all know about. The private life is the life that, you know, maybe her close friends are aware of. But the secret life is sometimes only known to her and sometimes only known to her family members. And that's what I really wanted to focus on in this book was the secret life.
I thought you knew everything about Jackie, and I thought through you we all did, and then some correspondence from Jack became public. You did additional research. What is the most surprising thing you discovered in your new research?
Well, I think the most surprising thing for me was the way Jackie became the primary caregiver for her mother when her mother suffered from Alzheimer's. You know, this is really the secret life because this was going on during the period of time that I knew Jackie, and I sure didn't know anything about it. And it was going on in the 1980s when she was an editor at Doubleday, and she was very public, working every day at Doubleday in New York City, and then spending her weekends in Newport caring for her mom. And I think that, so many people can relate to the stress of that. And the story of Janet Auchincloss's Alzheimer's and Jackie's dealing with it, I think is so important and something that I really wanted to write about. I didn't know anything about it, and it meant a lot for me to be able to share that with my readers, because I think it's something that so many people can relate to and understand on a very deep level.
We're talking to best-selling author J. Randy Taraborelli, who's written an exhaustive biography of one of the most influential women of modern history. What struck me, a lot of things did, J. Randy, in the book, was you writing about the ritual of Jackie burning some of the most intimate letters in her fireplace. Tell us that little story.
Well, shortly before she died, she called John Warnicki, who we just mentioned, her good friend Jack Warnicki, to her home for a sort of ritual. And the two of them, according to what Jack recalled, to me when I interviewed him, the two of them sat in her library and they burned so much correspondence that Jackie had received, from many people in her life, former relationships, dignitaries, governmental people, friends, family members. And it's such a sort of paradox, because Jackie cared so much for history. She restored the White House, and she restored Lafayette Park, and she worked to save Grand Central Station in New York. I mean, she understood the importance of history. But the reason she did it, the reason she burned all of these letters, was because she was trying to protect people who knew her. And it was one thing for her letters to then to become private and, public, and they certainly did become public over the course of time. But she felt it was something else entirely for their letters to her to become public. And they were private people, she felt, and they just didn't deserve the kind of scrutiny. And so in order to protect them, she burned this correspondence, which I, as an historian, would love to have read, of course. But I totally understand, right? I mean, I wish she hadn't done it. But I totally understand it, and I think it says a lot about her, that she cared so much for the people in her life that she was trying to protect them from scrutiny.
We talk a lot about trauma in our life now and how people suffer from PTSD. Did she ever get over having JFK die basically in her lap on that tragic day in Dallas?
Well, I think that we all figured that she probably did, because, from the public side of Jackie, she went on to marry Onassis, and she looked as if she was living a life of glamour and luxury on this big, yacht, the Christina. You heard all these stories of Jackie O, right? But what I found in my research is that she never really got over it. She told, again, Jack Warnicki, that